Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Game Masters. I am your host for the evening, Fance, and today is the card game special. Before we get into that, reminder, Frame Fatales will be having its next all-women speedrunning event, Flame Fatales, in late August. Be sure to type !FF in Twitch chats or go to gamesdonequick.com/framefatales for more info. We're splitting the show into two parts today. We're going to be starting off with Magic the Gathering by Skybills, and we're going to close the second half with Yu-Gi-Oh! Brought to you by Poffle and Ghoul O2. It's going to be a great evening, showcasing all sorts of fun card games and all the different modes we can go through and play with. But first things first, hello, Sky. Welcome to the show. I'm glad we finally get to have you on here.
I'm excited to be on here. I know we've been talking about featuring Magic the Gathering for a while, and a lot of folks don't even know that I play Magic the Gathering, at least from the speedrunning scene, because I have so many hats that I wear, challenge runs, speed runs, Magic,
What was your first introduction to Magic? Like, what is it that got you into it, and, just you've been playing it ever since, really?
Well, I had been a card player my entire life. I had started on Pokemon trading card game, and then I went to Yu-Gi-Oh! For 10 years. You'll see Yu-Gi-Oh! Later, and Ghoul does an amazing job of playing Yu-Gi-Oh!, by the way. And then, during grad school, I needed a break from my studies. Grad school was really stressful, so I went down to my local game store near my grad school, and I picked up Magic the Gathering during the Innistrad, the original Innistrad, not Shadows over Innistrad, not Innistrad Midnight Hunt, the original Innistrad release weekend. And I absolutely fell in love with the game.
Awesome. Now, for those of you who haven't played Magic, there's a whole bunch of different play styles you can do, as with any trading card game, and represented by colors, the different types of mana you could use within Magic. And Sky, do you have a particular play style that you kind of gravitated towards over the years?
Oh, absolutely. So I don't know if my screen is currently on right now, but what I can do is kind of show you what I'm a little more familiar with here. So I actually have a deck crafted in a format called Explorer. It's one of the constructed formats, and I love Mono Red. Mono Red is definitely my favorite, followed by Green Red Stompy, but I have picked up some control stuff as of recent. Back about a year ago, I was actually on Black Blue Rogues, and that ended up taking me to the top 8 of the VML, which is a Magic League for persons of marginalized genders, and that was absolutely wild, and I enjoyed myself there. So not always an aggro player, but that's definitely what I gravitate towards.
So what do you say? Red pairs very well with red.
Oh yeah. Can I get some more red in my red in terms of Magic colors? Yes, please.
All red. Yeah, that is the kind of deck I always did, like the burn decks where you just cast spells all the time with red. And, yeah, it's always fun, and also either it goes well or it goes bad, I found, at least. But this is me playing in early 2000s, so it's changed quite a bit since then, I imagine. Now, Sky, I believe you're part of OXG Esports, and I'm just curious how that relationship has been going.
Really well. I've been playing for OXG for a couple of years now, and they believed in me. So, here's the order of events, just really quickly, the Cliff Notes version. So I was invited to Mythic Invitational 2019. Within that span, I had to go from kitchen table Magic player. I played a few FNMs, won a couple game days back in the day, if you're familiar with that. And then I was expected to go from casual local player to tournament level Pro Tour Players Tour type player. So in that span of the 2-3 months that I had to prepare, OXG, formerly Team Genji, reached out to me and said, how would you like to play for us? So they took a risk on me without even seeing me play professionally. And I'll tell y'all something, I did not let them down. In my first ever tournament, the Mythic Invitational 2019, I had 2 feature matches, one of which was against two-time world champion Shahar Shanhar, and I went on to win that match. And you can watch that match on YouTube if you have not seen it before. It is an absolutely explosive match. If you love Mono Red, that will definitely be the match you want to watch. I barely missed the top 16 by losing in game 3 to Luis Salvato, but we had an excellent game together. That is also worth watching, and that is on YouTube as well too. I went on to play in the Mythic Championship 7 because Wizards was so impressed with my performance in the Invitational. Unfortunately, I did well enough, but not quite well enough again to make day 2, but again, both tournaments I was on the cusp of it, and lasted quite a while in both of those tournaments. So I was really proud of myself for someone who didn't have a professional testing team, who didn't have all those resources available to me. So I did everything I could with what I had, and I'm exceedingly proud of myself as a Magic player. I still teach people how to play Magic via Gamer Sensei. It's one of the many hats that I wear in terms of my jobs.
Yeah, I remember you saying that that matchup, you didn't know the caliber of the person you were up against until after the match, and it was like, oh my gosh, this is a big deal. And
I just remember.
I beat them. It's just, yeah.
One moment I'm sitting there, I go 2-1, because you went, with the way the Mythic Invitational worked, if you lost 2, you were out. It was one of the harshest tournament conditions for Mythic Championship out there. And I just remember 1 minute I'm sitting there, I'd won my match, I was 2-1, and all of a sudden they're like, you're going to go sit up there. And I'm like, what? They're like, you're going to go sit up there. And they pointed to the center of the stage. I'm like, excuse me? So by the time I had to process everything, all of a sudden, I had day 9 asking me, okay, well, how do you pronounce your name? How do you want me to introduce you? And it was so overwhelming, but it was definitely one of the best days of my life. And before I know it, I'm walking on the stage. There's sparklers everywhere. There's this pretty big in-person crowd. This was during PAX East in 2019. It had an actual like in-person crowd there, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is for real. And it was just, again, I look upon that day just with all the fondness, and I just could not forget everyone cheering for me after I'd won my first feature match.
Oh, that's so cool. So cool. Yeah, if you get a chance later, be sure to watch that match up. It's like, full esports, just like seeing Sky in there. I was so excited. It's like, oh my God, there she is. Anyway, so Sky has still been, charging ahead, full steam ahead, playing Magic here now, especially with Magic the Gathering Arena, which we're showcasing today, starting off with a limited mode showcase. And Sky, I think we're ready to go ahead. I've talked enough to just go ahead and get started and do what it is you do best and play some Magic.
Absolutely. So I want to preface a lot of this because it is really important to do this with, remember, A, I've been playing this for 10 years, and B, remember, you could play the best in this game and you could still lose. You can do everything right and still lose. That's the beauty of Magic, right? At any point, either player can just win the game. So all you can do is just make the educated decisions with what you have and do your best, So we are going to start off with limited. We are going to, because in the spirit of gotta go fast, we're going to do quick draft for the newest set, Streets of New Capenna. Now you may ask yourself, well, Sky, why are we starting out on limited? You played constructed in that tournament. Here's why. Not everybody in chat necessarily knows how to play Magic, and that's totally understandable. One of the reasons why I feel Wizards initially reached out to me is they saw me as like this bridge between the card playing crowd and the speedrunning crowd, and they saw me as a way to kind of be an influencer, be a good role model in terms of Magic the Gathering, good ambassador. So here I am going to do that. And limited, since your card pool is, as stated, limited, you're only going to have so many options. There's only so many cards you have to keep track of, and it is probably one of the best ways to play Magic. If you're looking to play Magic, limited is the way to go. And of course, this is the quick draft being offered right now. It is the newest set right now, Streets of New Capenna. I'm going to talk a little bit about why I'm picking colors. I'm most likely, unless I see a card, like a massively good card in a rare, probably going to stick with a color combination called blue, white, and green that is called Bant. I may go into Esper, which is also black, blue, and white, but we'll talk about this as we go. I hope you all have your notepads ready, because here we go.
I got my notebook ready, Sky.
Oh, all right. So in Magic, there are 5 colors, and I'm going to talk a little bit about my decision making here. Black is like death and destruction. You want to use that to take down several of your opponent's threats. Blue, counter magic. A lot of people have grown to loathe this color, but it is one of the most powerful colors, if not the most powerful card in Magic. It is literally the color that allows you to say no, or I am going to interrupt what you're doing. So blue, a lot of people love it. Red is just go in, don't care about what your opponent does, just try to get your opponent's life down to 0. White is the color where it's weird. White either wipes the field or it swarms the field. Like there's like so many different things that white has been doing over the years in terms of color. And then there's green. big, chunky, stompy creatures. So again, try to keep that in mind. I'm going to try not to go too fast here. We're drafting against bots today because it's very slow to draft with people. And again, I want to be able to talk about my decisions more, and we're not on a timer with our picks here. All right. So I'm going to do my best to follow along with the chat. If anybody does have a question for me, please let me know, and I will stop what I'm doing and try to do that. So right now, again, I'm probably going to aim for white, blue, and green, and here's why. Since I don't have to worry about a table of humans, you can kind of manipulate this a little bit better in quick draft. So this is in a way kind of its own format. Do not try to force colors at a paper drafting table, all right? If you learn something, do not do what I'm going to do here at a drafting table. I have tried to force colors before when I was doing Magic. Just no.
All right, don't do this that Sky is currently doing. All right.
So
all right, moving on.
All right, so I'm gonna talk about a couple different picks here. We'll pick and then we'll move on. So again, I don't know what picks I'm gonna have, all right? So right off the bat here, the two cards that have my attention is this common card. Oh, hey, look, it's a raccoon. For anyone who doesn't know me, I love raccoons. Raccoons are great. This is, the only catch with this is, in picking a 3-colored card, I'm almost kind of gravitating towards that right away. These are the aggro colors, also known as Riveteers, also known as Jund. I'm going to try to more use the old school terms because I think folks are more familiar with Jund than Riveteers here. But my instinct here is you're always going to want to grab some kind of removal. So I'm actually looking at this Kill Shot card right here. Not only does it fit into the basic 3 colors that I'm probably trying to go for, but it's just a removal spell. Removal's great. All right, so here we go. I'm going to pick Kill Shot here. So now I'm looking over what I have, and again, this game seems to be telling me, hey, Sky, do the aggressive thing. I'm going to say no. I'm going to stay true to the band colors that we want to do here. So I'm probably going to go with green here, the Cadalia Strong Arm. It has a mechanic called Blitz. We'll talk about mechanics the deeper we get into this, but I'm going to pick this in limited. You want to pick cards that do multiple things. This card most definitely does multiple things and gives you the most options possible. There's not going to be a test later, chat. I wouldn't do that to y'all. All right, so again, we're heading off in that band direction. So the next thing I want to talk about is fixing. So fixing means that you will definitely want to grab, if you're playing more than, I'd say more than 2 colors, although sometimes in 2 colors fixing isn't bad either. You need lands. You need a mixture of spells, but then you need to pay for those spells with lands. And the nice thing is, yes, you are presented with all the basic lands you want, but you're not always going to have these wonderful dual lands here. So we are probably going to pick one of the dual lands. The next card I would probably pick is Raffine's Informant because that's really good on curve. So we're probably going to pick some kind of fixing here. And I'm probably going to go with, both of these are very tempting here. I'm going to pick the towers. For some reason, the towers don't appear as much. Most likely, again, going to go for those blue colors here going to Bant. All right, as we get later in the pack, my suspicion is growing more and more. Okay, Bant seems to be the right kind of color combination to go as we're getting still that blue, the green, the white, and we're seeing it here in this pack over here. We have a Gathering Throng here. This card is cool if you can find multiple Gathering Throngs. The only other 2 cards that are neat here is Hold for Ransom, which we already did grab a removal spell to be fair, and a flying card that has potential to grab you lifelink. I'm going to pick the Gathering Throng here to hope that we get multiples of them. And again, that's a little bit of my aggro instinct there. All right, I'm sorry again if I have lost all y'all. I'm trying to do my best as if I'm teaching a lesson right now, so don't mind. All right, so if we were in black, we definitely go for the Assassin, the Sigil. Both of those are really good. I don't anticipate us shifting to black unless we end up with like some kind of really big Esper rare. So I'm going to take the Paragon of Modernity here. This is the colorless, so any color can be used to pay for those, and it gets bigger. Definitely one of my favorite 4 drops in the format. And if you want to see this neat feature, this is what's called a curve. So the nice thing that Arena does here is my 3 drops are in a curve, 4 and then 5 here. along with my dual lands, so you can kind of take a look and assess your picks as you go along. I would also not advise drafting as fast as I am. Again, I do this every day, so this is kind of like an instinct for me. Make sure to really think about what you want to do before you pick it. Again, we kind of got to go fast here. I don't know if there's a timer in the background, but that would actually be really fun.
And we are running a timer, just like the general GDQ timer. And this is games done quick, or I guess we should say drafting done quick.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I'm going to go with the plaza here. So I was absolutely right to take the towers because the plazas have come back. Look at that. We're going to take one of the better 2-drops here. So again, you want to make sure you have a nice healthy curve. And we have not taken any 2-drops yet. The Skycrier doesn't look like much, but a 1/1 flying lifelink for only 2 cost. Actually pretty good card. And if you add 1/1 counters on it, which what our strong arm does, this can win the game single-handedly if your opponent just doesn't have anything to handle flyers in combat. Flyers are really powerful in Magic, especially in this format. All right, so remember how I told you all you want to pick cards that do multiple things? Well, this Spara's Agitators absolutely does that. So not only is this a pretty hefty 5-drop creature, but you can also use this card to not only prevent a target creature from attacking or blocking for an entire turn, but this also fixes the mana. That is what that 2 cost is. So we're definitely going to pick that. That does like 3 different things. It's pretty good for a card, honestly. All right, not much left here in the last part of the pack here. I'm probably going to take the Expendable here just so we can use that in sacrifice spells. And another Agitators has gone our way. So this is really nice. We have a lot of fixing so far here in pack 1. And we're going to take another Botanical Plaza. And then not much left here, so I'm going to pick black just in case. You can do 4 colors. I would not advise it, but it is a thing that can happen.
So these cards, is this like from like a latest season or, competitive season type thing or league? Or is it just like a mixture of like old cards, new cards? What are we dealing with?
These are all new cards from the most recent set. So the nice thing about Limited is you only have to worry about these cards in the set. There's going to be nothing that comes from like Call Time, for instance. This is all going to be just limited to this set. So again, I always recommend I wouldn't recommend forcing colors, especially in an in-person draft. And somebody had asked something in chat. I just want to clarify this really quickly. A draft is you sit down at a table, typically 6 to 8 people, and you have 3 booster packs in front of you. You pick a card, and then you pass the pack along. So it's one of those you kind of have to read what your opponents are doing. But since this is a bot draft, this is much quicker. I can do more explanations since I'm not worrying about a timer going on. Maybe I'll do that, but I'm going to keep an eye on the clock here and see what's going on. But yeah, Bant is hands down the best deck in the format. Although, speaking of best things, this is not a good Pack 2 Pick 1 at all. And again, if you want to know how I know that, Pack 2 Pick 1 is right here. This is really disappointing, actually. So I'm going to take a look at my curve here and see what I want. If I was in Esper, I'd definitely grab the Obscura Charm. But I'm kind of probably going to pick the Obscura Initiate here because more flyers is good. Okay, this is a really great uncommon. Knockout Blows. So again, that's more of that removal that we were talking about. This card can really change the flow of battle, and 4 damage is a lot. You have to make sure they're attacking and blocking, but again, this card is single-handedly turn around a match. If you are in black, you probably pick Murder. Remember when I said black is more about destruction? It doesn't get any more, plain Jane than just destroy target creature. But we're going to pick Knockout Blow here because these are in our colors. All right, so as we move on to the next pack here, again, we're kind of going with the whole theme of flyers, Bant flyers. So probably going to go with the Echo Inspector. Again, I'm going to check my curve. We don't have a lot on 4 yet, so this is a really cool card. We'll talk about conniving and other mechanics such as Blitz and Connive as we get into our matches. All right, so we do have a rare here late. Typically, if you see a rare at this point, you can kind of be like, it's not really going to do much. Sack a creature, count the colors, search your library, that color is +1. Yeah, that's kind of, it's kind of hard to use in Limited. Maybe if this was a cube, and I know a lot of people would be like, oh my gosh, cube. Yeah, if this was cube, Evolving Door could be more useful. But I'm actually going to use this card here because this card can do some work before and after they are on the field. So the Grifter would probably be the next best one, but I really love Legrella. All right, so we have another Sky Crier here. And again, we're trying to create more consistent decks. The only other card I'm thinking about taking here is the Witness Protection, which is a really funny card if you haven't seen this. So it turns any creature into a 1/1 and they lose all of their special abilities. They become what's called a legitimate business person, and it's really funny when that happens. So I'm between that and the Sky Crier here. I'm going to click on my deck. I already have 10 creatures to non-creatures, and again, this will break down your deck, show what your average mana cost is. There's a lot of cool resources here for this. So this is tough. I'm probably going to pick the Sky Crier just because I need multiples of those, but that was a close pick there. I'm going to be a legitimate business person at some point in this. It's just the way this draft goes. All right, so
I love
again,
it.
I'm going to turn on this again. So our 3 drops are kind of looking exhausted here. The Sewer Crocodile looks like a ton of fun here because this is a card that can be used as a finisher. We could also grab Disdainful Stroke or Boon of Safety here. So any of these cards are quite good. I'll probably take the Boon of Safety for now. It's a really good instant that gives my creatures a shield counter. Great. I wish I could take all of these cards here. This also means if we were in an in-person draft that blue's probably available and black's probably available. So again, you can tell a lot about what's going on at the table, our hypothetical table even, by the cards that you get later in the pack. Notice we're not seeing as many of the reds and the greens, etc. We're seeing a lot more of the blues and the whites and the blacks. So again, just something to kind of pay attention to because that gives a lot of information about what's going on at the table and what best cards will be available for you later in the pack. So I'm probably going to take the Grifter here, although, again, the Witness Protection is kind of tempting. But Grifter can save games as well. All right, we got another Strong Arm later in the pack. Very surprising. It's a good common. And then we're going to take another one of the towers. Our fixing. Chat, we're not going to have any issues getting our colors at all. I'll take Run Out of Town. That card's mediocre. Ooh, we got a Bookcase and a Crocodile late. Probably going to take the Bookcase here. This turns one of our creatures to unblockable. And a second Grifter. Oh, this is looking great. The early part of our curve is looking really nice. We really need some good finishers, though. And unfortunately, we didn't get it in terms of this. However, if we were in these colors, we'd definitely grab Zayator's Envoy. This is Jund or Riveteers. But the Disciplined Duelist, it's kind of close to a rare, even though it's an uncommon. This card is ridiculous. The Sweeping Protector would also be another one I'd grab, but Duelist is just too good.
I kind of want to tell Sky to get Witness Protection, but then I'm worried that I'm just going to ruin her deck.
If I find,
because I want to see it.
If I find one, I will grab it. So far, again, you always want to evaluate the power level of your deck, especially in Arena. I'm feeling pretty okay about where this curve is going so far. We did have a question about how many colors you want to run. So that's all about knowing the format. Some formats, you'll probably want to stick with 1 to 2 colors max. In Streets of New Capenna, if you haven't noticed, there are many different ways for us to get that third color in there pretty easily. You have cards like the Agincators and our dual lands here. So I would say this is 3 colors is pretty consistent in Streets of New Capenna, but overall, if you're drafting any other format that's not famously known as a 3-color format, I'd stick to 2 colors. If you're brand new to the game, 1 color is also okay, but you got to remember, you are limited to your table. Good question there. I like that. All right, so I probably want just a little more removal here. Let me check my creature count again. We're at 16 right now. I'd probably like to have another flyer or 2 between the Butler and the Kill Shot here. But we only have 3 gold or tri-colored cards in here, or dual-colored even. So I'm probably going to take the Kill Shot here.
Picking cards is always the hardest part for me playing through. Like, I'd always end up with a deck with like 80 cards. Is that legal? No. But when you're playing on the schoolyard, you know, you could have a 100-card deck and never get anything done.
Now, if I hadn't just taken Kill Shot, I'd probably take Witness Protection here. I'm actually going to take the Security Bypass here. We do risk getting 2 for 1 if our equipped creature gets destroyed, because that's 2 cards for 1 card. But this card is ridiculous and has actually destroyed me recently, so I'm gonna take that. We even have a second one here if we wanted. It's between that and the Paragon of Modernity. I'm probably, let me see here. That's a tough decision. I normally only grab one Paragon for my deck, but I may want two in this one just because of the way the deck is, but it's hard. It's very, very difficult. We have to start making very difficult decisions, chat. I'd probably take another bypass here.
Yeah, we do have another question from chat.
Oh, absolutely.
How closely do you follow the 23/17 for drafting, or?
Oh, yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, I follow 23/17. I've been doing 41 lately, so if I do 41, don't judge me. It's just been a way I've been drafting lately. But yeah, I've been doing 23/17 for the most part. So I'm looking at the cards I have right now. I don't have anything that draws cards. We do have Case the Joint in here to do that. We also have Majestic Metamorphosis. This is another card that's been kind of wrecking me lately. So I might actually give this a try. Not only do you probably remove something, win the game, you also get to draw a card with it, which is really interesting. So the only thing that scares me is we are approaching, whoa, oops, all 3 drops territory here. So I'm going to take it, though, because I think that card could be good. Now, here's another card I love, Mr. Orfeo the Boulder. Again, we didn't know we were going to get this till later on, but if you see this, grab it. For chat, I'm grabbing one of the witness protections. I should take the prior or the infirmment, but for chat, I'm taking one of the witness.
And for me as well, though I'm part of chat as well.
All right, I'm going to take the backup agent here. That's another really good 2-drop. So we did get rewarded there. A third grifter if we want it, but we are going to take the broker's veteran. This can add a shield counter onto something, which is pretty valuable. Oh, we got a second gathering throng. 2 of those are still pretty good. You ideally want 3, but 2 of those is fine. Ooh, we're between Case the Joint and Paragon here for this pick. Seeing as we don't have any draws yet, I'm going to take Case the Joint here. Okay, we got a second one. There you go. This is shaping up to be a pretty good deck here. All right, that's it. Not bad overall. Riveteers may have been the pick, but I wouldn't have seen Riveteers until pack 3. So I think we absolutely made the right choice. So hang on, I got to change my cute little cosmetics around. Got to pick some good sleeves. I love cosmetics, so don't mind me. Why don't we pick here? How about this elk? That's kind of cool looking. Yeah, I like animals. And then we have Oko to go with it. And we have our Tanuki also. We'll talk about pets later though. So now we have a lot of edits we have to make here. There's a lot of edits we need to make here. So,
and this is the most important decision. How pretty do I want to look, you know?
So, again, this is tough. I actually really legit like the deck that we've created here. It doesn't look potent, but it absolutely is. So I'm going to make what I call the easy cuts first. So that's coming out. That's coming out. Yeah, I like the grifter better here. Yeah, this is the toughest part of draft, hands down. We need to get down. We have 47 right now. We want to get down to 40 or 41. I've been running a 41 lately. Now remember, this strong arm's most likely over here, and the adjudicator's probably fallen the 2 drops. So this is, in my brain, this is what I'm seeing right now in terms of curve, because this hasn't affected 2, and this hasn't affected 4. So this is how my brain is currently processing this right now, just so everybody can kind of see that more as a visual. Probably take out Run Out of Town. So this one's definitely going to be more creature-oriented, I think. We definitely want to keep some removal in there. We have 2 witness protections. We have 2 kill shots as well. This is not easy, chat.
I believe in you.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to do great. Yeah.
I appreciate that. I may
As a reminder, while we're finalizing this deck, be sure to check out Skybill's over on her Twitch channel. She's great, does magic from time to time, like I think still very regularly. You can see magic. I don't know if you do it like weekly, bi-weekly, but it's on there.
Yeah.
Weekly Magic streams. In addition, she does a whole bunch of Ironmon as well lately. So Kaizo Ironmon, just you have one clear and going for another. You just can't be stopped.
I refuse to just stop at one clear. I could keep the bookcase and just go down to one bypass, but bypass is so powerful. All right, I have to make at least 2 more cuts. Well, we might be doing a 41er here, chat. Don't judge me if we do 41. I know I can see the YouTube comments already. Sky, rah, 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 rah. I know. I know.
I'm sure YouTube will be fine. Shout outs to YouTube, by the way, everybody. If you're watching this video on YouTube, be sure to leave a kind comment. If Sky ends up going 41, just put a big 41 and be excited about it in the comments. Don't be mad at it. I want you to be excited about it. And I'll come in and give you some kind words.
Thank you.
Personally.
Okay, so we're still at 17 creatures, which means I can probably make more cuts here. And when I say cuts, I just mean eliminations from what we're doing here. We already have a lot of 1/1 counters at Strong Arm, so we could probably get rid of the backup agent because we have the Grifter, the 2 Criers, the Broker's Veteran, which I love this card and adore it. It's pretty powerful. One more card. No, I'm not going 42. I'm not that brave, chat. I don't want to take out Case the Joint, but that's looking like our candidate right now because this draws a card. Yeah. So this is definitely... Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, so we're picking out 40 cards or maybe 41. And with the max deck size, what significance does that have? Because we're talking like, 41, maybe 42, no way. What's the significance of going more than 40?
I think some of it is just like a lot of limited's trial and error, right? Like I've done pretty well on 41. I start to approach 42 and some people may be raising some eyebrows. 41 as it is, people are be like, Sky, come on. No, we're going to stick with 41 here, I think.
Is that because your land pool just gets more limited versus your other cards?
Well, here's my thought. In New Capenna, you can get away with 41, and here's why. These all draw cards. The Metamorphosis draws cards. We have some hidden draw in there. We have Grifters, which will enable us to connive, which is another form of card draw. So we're thinking we're going to do this here. And you can always adjust your deck between matches. So I think this is looking good. Now, I have to warn you all, there is a little bit of a bug. And I know MTG Arena bugs, but again, there are other places we can do that. But there is a bug lately where if I adjust my deck with cosmetics, sometimes it'll make me run my cuts again. I have my cuts memorized at this point. So if for some reason the game's like, oh, I don't like your cosmetics, we'll just get in there and make those same decisions again. We're going to use the old school lands here. See how you have the old art there? That is for folks like Richard, who I know has been playing for a while. So this is my tribute to you, Richard. We're using the old school lands here.
Yeah, if I remember those, my first Magic cards I got. I don't want to say the year, it was a long time ago.
Oh, y'all probably been playing longer than me. I was playing other card games when y'all started Magic. Okay, I'm a little nervous doing this on GDQ, but I've definitely played...
You'll be great.
All right. So I do, again, want to preface this by saying at this point, I have no control over what happens. I'm going to make the best moves that I can. If my opponents just play like all the mythics and rares, I will die. There's no question about it. But that's half the fun of Limited. Yes, you get to keep the cards from drafts, absolutely. What's the run's goal? Have fun, show people about Magic. I don't care what record I get. If I go 0-3, if we're all having a good time here, big chillin', that's all I care about, chat. I care about y'all. Yep. Anything that happens here, it's fine. I've already got my Mythic unconstructed for this month. Limited's just for fun for me.
Yeah, anytime that we do a multiplayer showcase or some other competitive game showcase here on Game Masters, which we do quite frequently, we've had a number on in the past, like you're going up against MMRs, other people, and expecting a 100% win rates is unrealistic because if you did, well, it's got to be sitting pretty as the best Magic player in the world. Just like nobody can go undefeated.
The best players
in card games ever. So
the very best players have 60-70 max in terms of win rate.
Mm-hmm. So we're just gonna play our best, or she's gonna play her best, and do what we can just with this deck she constructed real time right here in front of you, and now is going in, taking it out, and Sky, good luck.
Thank you. I appreciate that, friend. So yeah, right now we're just kind of go in there, swing early. This is not really what our colors are supposed to do, but hey, we take that, right? I like our land situation right now. We're about to start fixing with the adjudicators, and we have an early lead. But remember, none of these life totals matter until one person is at 0 or until someone mills their deck, one of the alternate win conditions, etc., etc. All right, let's see what they do here. This is going to tell us a story here. They are feeling behind on their board state, so they're going for the citizen option here.
What does that do?
It creates a citizen or it creates a treasure token, which will enable them to ramp. Now, here's our color here. This is going to be interesting. I don't exactly like where the board state's at for me, so we are going to fly above these and use this. We will have summoning sickness for a turn, which is fine. Ooh, that's rough. I probably want to keep this knockout blow, but I think I'll discard this initiate here and make it a 3/4. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually swing this veteran, and here's why. I would love to give this Echo Inspector what's called a shield counter, and this will also clean up their board a little bit here. This shield counter states where if they try to destroy it by means of destroying it or dealing direct damage to it, the shield will get destroyed first and it'll preserve it. There are things like negative counters, for instance, which will destroy it with the shield counter, but we are above that range as deal gone bad kind of eliminates this. So we're going to actually take the damage here. I'm not scared. Ooh, we got a security bypass here. This is pretty good. All right, so first thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to swing over the top for 3. They can't block because they don't have a flyer, hence the hover here. And we're going to go with our adjudicators here. And we're going to say that this Chrome Cat can't attack or block till next turn. Probably should have done that earlier to get the extra damage with Grifter, but details. I'll point out when I did something suboptimally like that, by the way, chat. I don't sweep that under the rug. I'm here to help teach. So if I missed something, I'll tell you what I missed. It's not a huge deal to me. I'm not embarrassed. Looks like they're going to kill that with Maestro's Charm, yeah. That's fine. I'll take the 2 damage again. Not a huge deal. This is tough. Sure. I'll put this here. We're gonna connive. Ooh, metamorphosis, huh? Okay. Again, we're not afraid. As long as we keep this creature, we're in good shape.
So how did the draft work for the other player?
What do you mean by that?
So did they have the same pool of cards that you went with? Or is it something completely different and you're just going up against them?
Yeah, even in an in-person draft, it's very different because you're not guaranteed to have the same pool of cards. That's the only thing that's imperfect compared to in-person drafting. Mm-hmm. This music's very calming. I haven't listened to the in-game music client in a while. This is looking good for us, folks. Our flyer is looking very pretty right now.
Pretty meaty.
Yeah.
And still looks like nothing to counter with, and yeah.
Ooh. That's interesting.
But I know any card game I play, you can never say, all right, we got it on lock. Until, like you said earlier, until the HP is 0. Then you could be comfortable.
Oh, absolutely. And we won our first round. Let's go.
GG.
Thank
well
you.
done, Sky. Yeah, that was kind of an evil sounding laugh there.
Oh, that is my I'm playing blue kind of laugh, yeah. All right, cool.
GG's.
Thank you. I'm going to try to walk through some more of what I'm doing. Unfortunately, when I play Magic, sometimes my brain runs a little faster than how I can talk. That's just the way I am with cards. I don't know how or why, but that's how it is. So sometimes, I forget to speak. So if I get to that point, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to navigate a pretty complicated board state there. So what happened? What simply happened? I souped up a really big flyer. They couldn't block it, nor did they have a way to deal with it. So they lost. We were going to win that foot race, so to speak. Right, let's go on to the next round. How much time do we have left, Fan? I want to make sure we have time for constructed, too. I know I'm talking a lot.
We've got, let's see, we got the timer at around 34 minutes.
Okay.
So, yeah, about a little less than an hour remaining or so for this segment.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to finish this whole draft because I wanted to do a little bit constructed, too, because I know limited's not everybody's cup of tea. We'll do some constructed, so that way everybody gets to see a format that they like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've also, like, you know, in regards to your comments about, like, you just think faster than you could speak when playing these card games. I've seen enough animes where, you know, if something is explained, detailed, it's like 10 episodes for a single match. So, and we don't have time for that today because this game's done quick. We go fast.
Absolutely. I'm loving this opening hand, by the way, here, Fan. We have all 3 colors available to us, which is pretty important in this deck. And while we don't go till 3, limited is a little bit of a slower format in terms of like how fast it takes you to win. So we can afford to kind of, especially as the one going first here. Also, I got to show you something. Look, I can make my pet sit down, and I can also make it lay down.
Oh, it's adorable.
Yeah. I love that.
Very important that you get the raccoon, yeah.
Yes, it's very me.
Why do you, out of curiosity, what is it about raccoons that draws them to you? Random interview question in the middle of playing a competitive Magic match.
My grandmother actually befriended a raccoon when I was a kid in her yard, and she would bring her kits or babies every year, and I just loved them ever since, you know?
Nice.
They mean a lot to me. Yeah,
Aww.
yeah.
Oh.
I don't trust this opponent. We're gonna take the 3 here because I think they may want the treasure token from this, but I'm not sure. Okay, so this just became interesting. The only thing I'm afraid of is, ironically, it's called a deal gone bad. We're gonna take this bypass here. They can't block me. So we're gonna connive, and then we're gonna connive again.
Oh, big damage.
Oh yeah. Okay, so that breaks. Oh, calling a professional is one of those special cards that I told you could happen, but that's okay. If that happens, not everything's gonna go as planned. Time for plan B. Yeah, calling a professional has explicit text that states if there's a shield counter, ignore it. So I knew that could happen. The key thing here is to not panic and you just continue to go. All right, this one's a little trickier. Because they can just block with this Death Toucher here, so instead, I'm going to play the Kadaya Strong Arm here. We're going to give it some counters, and we're just going to hold on the field for now. Now, we are getting down to 9 life. I do have a kill shot for this thing. I can't tell if they're in 2 or 3 colors right now. Okay, so they're attacking with the Initiate here. I'm going to make them activate their Death Touch. We're only at 9 life right now. So I need to take this thing down with me. Not a great trade, but sometimes sacrifices have to be made so you don't die. Oh, they have a second one. They have a lot of creatures right now. They drew a very good hand. So let's try this instead. So I am going to remove... this one and this one. Exile any control by different players, yeah. And you may think to yourself, well, you're reducing your field. Yeah, this is risky. But something very funny is going to happen should this work. I want this to be destroyed and I want the creatures to revert, but when that happens, my creature is going to come back very, very, very strong. Oh my gosh, I love this piano music. All right, so So they're gonna go in full board here. I'm gonna make them, yeah. I think I'm gonna go down to 3 here, which is not gonna be fun. It is possible we just lose this because they drew Call a Professional plus other things, but we'll see. They didn't activate the Death Touch. What are they oh, okay. That's what they're doing. Not a huge deal, though. Okay, so now we're a very big creature right now. A very big creature. We're definitely on the back foot right now, for sure. I don't think we have another Throng because we threw that into our graveyard. Still a lot of lands left in the deck, too. I'm gonna say this is probably a loss, but we'll see what happens. Anything's possible, but this is not looking good for me right now. I do have a kill shot, and I have 2 blocks, but if they keep drawing creatures at the rate that they're drawing them, like this, for example, that's gonna be rough. But we're not out of it yet. They should have played that in the Blitz, so it is a minor misplay that they made here. We're going to destroy their Death Toucher. They have another removal spell. This is, not, again, not looking good, but we're trying to hang on. That's what these colors do. They hang on.
I'm amazed you've made it this long, so.
You gotta work with what you got here. But yeah, we got rid of that flyer because of chip damage. You're absolutely right in chat. This Grifter could be the thing that gets us back in the game, so I may want to consider, even at the cost of my own life, protecting it. AKA not blocking with it. Wow. So we most likely lose this one here. They kept drawing all the removal, literally. They had a Strangle, a Ready to Rumble, and a Call on a Professional, and that is a land. That is the Skyville's experience. So we won one and we lost one there. Nothing we can do about it. Thank you. I thought I played that really well considering, but again, sometimes you're just not going to have control over anything. And when they drew all the creatures and we drew nothing, it's kind of rough. Still, though, the Disciplined Duelist plus the enchantment alone usually wins the game, but they had the card.
And that's definitely a big aspect of card games. How you draw your cards. You got 60 cards in your deck, or 40, 41 of them you're really looking for, and then sometimes you just get the wrong order. And you can play it perfectly, make no mistakes, and still lose. And that's just life sometimes.
Absolutely. All right. So
nobody is 100% successful at winning Magic. Otherwise, the game probably wouldn't be too interesting.
Please let me in on your secret if you are. All right. This is looking pretty okay so far. I have a lot of defense here. It looks like they have a bigger curve than me here. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to play Initiate here.
I've heard you refer to the curve quite a bit, and for those of us not as familiar with Magic, what is it that you're referring to there?
About what exactly? I'm sorry.
The curve.
Oh, the curve. Okay, so a curve is like referring to how many 1-drops, how many 2-drops, how many 3-drops. We talk about that being a curve of cards. Mm-hmm. So they have a heftier curve because they didn't play anything early.
Gotcha.
All right, chat, we're about to see... I probably don't want to be too greedy, but I kind of like the Majestic Metamorphosis play here. I want to see if they fall for it. So we're going to swing here. I want the Fixer to block the Grifter. Oh, they saw right through my plan. Okay.
Darn.
That's okay. I have a plan B. They know I have it now. Majestic Metamorphosis definitely was a card I underestimated. And here, I could block and do that, but I don't mind, honestly. Okay. What are you doing with it? Yes, my pet is a raccoon.
It is adorable. I don't even see a pet for your opponent. That means you gotta win.
Oh, absolutely. A little bit of a greedy play here on the Grifter. They're probably going to end up destroying one of my cards in response. But we also don't want this land, so that was good. Here you go, just for you, Fant.
Yes, the witness protection. So this turns it into a 1-1.
Well, it'll be a 1-1 with a 1-1 counter, but it won't be able to pump itself anymore. Or
Right. Protect the witness. Get down, Mr. President.
Oh, I don't think so. Hang on, damage can't be prevented. Oh, I don't have a blue left. That's why they did that. Okay, that's fine. Let me activate this. Oh, now I find it. That's actually kind of funny.
Don't you love it? You get the thing you want directly after it would have been perfect to have.
That's okay.
The next turn, right?
Next turn I'll have the Metamorphosis on me. But they got me good there. They're still down to 11 though, but they have a lot of cards left, which is really scary. Oh yeah, this music's still really, really, really good. Blitz or no blitz? No blitz. Okay. Ooh. If I did, it doesn't matter. Let me do this.
The music's so comfy.
Yeah, it is. All right, we're gonna swing in the air again here. If I can untap, I think I can win this. But I need to be able to untap and keep my Skycrier on the board. That's a tall order.
Seems like your opponent's thinking about, how do I get rid of this menace?
Ooh, they're about to put out something big here. I'm kind of scared. Yeah, I've had the music not playing for ages too. Oh, I can live with that. Like, that's scary, but I can live with that. My opponent has me on the edge of my seat right now. What could they have? Yes, I'm okay with this. All right. So this is barring removal. If they don't have removal, we can win on not the next turn, but the turn after. I can live with that. So they're just trying to load up their board and win by going wide. We'll take this 4 here. No issues. Okay. Another Grifter. Swing with the Skycrier. I win on the next turn if they don't have removal. This Metamorphosis will turn it into a base power 4/4, which will convert this into a 6/6. Ooh, Death Touch though. Okay, that's fine.
So that can block your...
Mm-hmm. Unless I draw the card I need.
Okay.
It is possible for me to draw the card I need.
You just gotta believe in the heart of the cards.
Very much so.
As my father once told me.
I'm actually going to draw a card here off of Plaza instead of Conniving. There it is!
Oh my goodness.
All right, we got to go for it, Chad. If you have lethal, you have to go for it. We're going to go full control here. Lethal.
Oh. Can you explain what just happened there in that final turn? You top decked the card you wanted.
Yes.
Oh. GG.
Thank you. These are good games so far. Like, even the losses were good. All right. I think we have time to go on to the next one.
Yep, we are at 49 minutes in of your hour and a half time slot, so yes.
Awesome. I'm glad.
Chad, I hope you're having a good time.
Yeah.
Sky, I hope you're having a good time as well, coming on and showcasing Magic. I'm glad we finally got to have it on the show.
This is so nerve-wracking, admittedly, because I'm admittedly out of my wheelhouse just a little bit by playing these colors. But this is good practice for me, too, you know?
Yeah, I know in the interview we had before getting into this, you said you love red decks and like really aggressive burn decks. Yeah, this is quite different. But, you're still doing it. 2-1. Not bad.
I'm playing against players. I drafted against bots for the sake of time, but I'm playing against human players.
And it's like an MMR, so like you're playing like equivalent ranked players to yourself.
Yeah.
In other words, these are worthy opponents for Skybills, as the game sees it.
Very much so. I'm gonna keep my kill shots. It'll probably not motivate them to want to kill my crier either, so. Dang, I gotta play with this music on more often. This is so good. Oh no, I'm sleeping with the fishes. Nice flavor, opponent.
I wonder if your opponents realize they're on GDQ.
I hope not. That is not something I want them to see. All right, well, I can't block this and I can't block that, so I might as well get in for one here. I'm actually surprised they used Sleep with the Fishes on the Sky Crier, probably because of what I had on it. Okay. So I am going to actually play this. Swing with my Grifter. Yeah, I didn't think so. Alright, so they could counter this, but I'm going to try to play it. Sweet. Okay, that can't attack or block till the next turn. We're in a mirror match right now. In other words, they're doing a lot of the same of what I'm trying to do. Bad.
That's completely my bad. I autopiloted and linked my own stream promoting Skybills. Please go follow Skybills. I'm
no problem.
I'm just a great host. Yeah. Not narcissistic at all, though.
You're wonderful.
I did not intend to bait chat into going and following me. Please follow Skybills. Sorry.
You're good. We've drawn a lot of lands so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lands to 17 already in the upper 14 cards of the deck, so we don't have quite a lot to work with here. Okay, that'll help. We'll take this. Swing with my Grifter. We don't have any more to search for here. I'll probably play the Initiate next turn. I have to block the Shield Mate twice, though, because of the shield. I don't like that, but at least the Gathering Throng gets more cards with it, so that helps. I was hoping I could get like 4 of those in my deck. That was a good draw. The only problem is that I need a little more control over the field before I play Paragon. Okay. Ooh, is the opponent gonna make us both draw? I guess that makes sense, but that's risky. Okay, now we have 2 combat tricks. That's good. Waiting to see if they do something. See how like the field's kind of sticking right now? That means that they have a response of some kind as well.
Right. I think that's the most creatures I've seen on the field for you, though.
Mm-hmm. What do they got? Some kind of... Oh, that's kind of funny. Did they put that on the bottom? You can also interact. Yeah, they put that on the bottom. They didn't want me to gain the life. Okay, we're getting there, chat. I'm definitely gonna gain life here. I'm gonna play Paragon here. This is looking good now, chat. We're getting there. That's another land, though. Jeez.
You seem to have no shortage of mana.
Nope. Neither do they, though, to be fair. They have quite a bit, too.
Yeah. Is there a cap of how many creature cards you can have on the field at any given time?
250.
Okay, that's a lot.
Yeah, otherwise the client crashes otherwise. Alright, so we're gonna wait for their turn. We have more things that we can do here. That tells me that they have lands in their deck if that's what they continue to do. But yeah, the whole game will crash if the 250 limit's reached.
Have you ever reached the limits?
Yeah. Yeah, in different formats.
I love that.
Not limited, but in different formats, yes. I didn't think Graphene's Informant was going to swing just this. Okay, let's get rid of that. Awesome.
How are we feeling about the match now?
Much better.
All right. That's what I love to hear.
At the beginning...
Again, it's not over till it's over.
Oh, absolutely not, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to do this. Put some counters on that. I'm going to keep... I'm not in a position yet where I can attack with both, so I'm going to keep the initiate here. Would like to gain life, please. Ah, that's not what I wanted. Put on top. That is a complicated question right now. I'm going to say yes. Knowing my ability to draw lands, that's better than any land I'm going to draw. I'll draw that. I'm cool with that. I lost the 1/1 counters on it, but I'm okay with it. Ooh, they're in a rough spot. Really? They don't know what they want to do with the creature. Okay. I want to play that. Also, be very careful with the auto pay button, chat. I have lost to the auto tapper before. Be careful. Yeah, they have 10 lands too, so it's definitely been a big land game. 11 now for them. So they're gonna start drawing their non-lands soon. Ooh, hey, it's your favorite card, Pant.
Witness protection, yes.
We're gonna take this flyer down now.
I'm so glad witness protection is getting used, Sky. I know very little about Magic, but I am glad that this card is being useful.
Absolutely. Alright, I'm probably gonna keep Lagrella in my hand. Swing with these two, give this lifelink. Declare blockers. I have to be careful here. I don't want to overextend too much or use up more resources than I should. Alright, I'm gonna go for 7 here because this will put them in lethal range next turn. Oh, they have another one. That's gonna go to top. That's why we didn't overextend there. So we're gonna use Grifter here. I have a fun play coming up. Wait till y'all see this.
Waiting with bated breath.
Oh, yes. This is a wild opponent, but I like them. Put that there. Alright, so we're gonna play Lagrella here, and we're gonna target the Initiate and our own Skycrier, and that's it!
GG.
Nice! That was a war of attrition, if I've ever seen one. Beautiful.
So what do we have now? 3-1, Sky? No, that's pretty good. I know you said, the best of the best. You could maybe get 60, 70 tops, and by my math, that's a 75% win rate with a very small, insignificant sample size of 4 games. But we take those, don't we? We
do. All right. So what are we at right now, time-wise? I'll probably do one more limited, and then we'll do a couple constructed, I think.
All right. We are sitting at 1 hour and 1 minute. 1 hour, 146. So
maybe we have to. Constructed's much faster, but maybe we have to although it looks like chat's enjoying the all right, one more limited, and then we'll maybe do a constructed or two, since it looks like chat's enjoying the intenseness of this format right now.
Yeah, chat, type 1. Give me a nice 1 in chat of your choice, whether an emote or just the simple character. If you are enjoying Magic the Gathering on the trading card game special of Game Masters tonight, here on twitch.tv/GamesDoneQuick, we got the wonderful Sky Bills crushing it, 3-1 so far in this draft. And I know you said you're nervous coming on here how it's going to go. It's like, if we go 0-4, 0-5, whatever, it's not about the wins. It's about playing the game and not making mistakes and just playing to the best based on the cards that you draw and what your opponent does as optimally as you can. And I think so far you've done that excellently tonight. So.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Look at all those ones, Sky.
Aw, thanks, Chad. I appreciate that. Honestly, this has been way more relaxing than I thought it would be, because this game can be very stressful. My goodness, this game can be stressful. Alright, so whenever we see blue there, chat, that means we probably shouldn't play our best card, but it looks like they didn't have a counterspell there. They didn't have Make Disappear, so we're gonna grab our other Gathering Throng. Off to a good start here. I really like this hand. Now, this is a little bit more of an aggressive hand. This is very different than everything we've been doing so far. We're gonna hit the field, and we're gonna hit the field very, very hard. No need attacking here. They have an 0-4 wall right now. This thing can turn into a 5/5 at 5 mana, so we have to be very careful and conscious of that. But it will cost them all of their mana to do that. It'll be interesting to see what they do. They don't seem to mind here whatsoever. So we're going to add some heat to this match.
Ooh, I like it.
This is only going to hurt a little bit. All right, so right now we're definitely winning on board state, but again, this is a mirror match. Again, if you didn't notice, fan, a lot of these matches should look oddly the same.
Mm-hmm. I'm starting to get a hang of some of the card names.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm probably not going to use Strong Arm again here because we're still the biggest card on the field. So we're going to swing with just the Duelist again because this 1/4 is kind of difficult to get over. And because of that burst strike damage, part of the double strike, we don't lose our shield, which is kind of nice. We're going to play this Inspector here and probably use our Gathering Throng to make this stronger via Connive. Ooh, security bypass with this Duelist on the field. Ooh, that's a good play. If we can pull it. If they tap out, they're going to be taking some heavy damage. I really want them to tap out so I can do this play. I mean, that's close enough, honestly. They aren't gonna like me after this. Admittedly, this is a little greedy. They're going to be taking 13 damage here because I'll be conniving twice. I don't want to get rid of my hand though, so they'll just take 12 here. I don't want to get greedy. I may need these as backups. Okay. Sure. Waiting to see if they have a run out of town for my I think that's like one of the only things they can have is like a run out of town or an exile card, which is possible. They do have access to the best removal. Destroy target enchantment. Okay, that buys them some time. Ooh, freelance muscle. All right, I get 1 creature a turn is what this means. All right, so and that's it.
What? Wait, what just happened?
So I'll show you what happened. Hang on, I can go onto the battlefield. I wish I had the X's and O's to put on here, but here's what happened.
GG.
They were all out of cards. This is a Rafine's Tower, so they can't cycle once that's on the field. They were out of cards here. What they were hoping to do was they were hoping to take this freelance muscle here and really, really jack up this flyer, like make this flyer like super powerful, and give it lifelink on top of it and get back into the game that way. Unfortunately for them, not only did they have them on the clock with the Duelist here, but the Lagrella here confiscated their freelance muscle, and thus they could not pump that creature on the board. And that was it. I just presented way too much of a threat. They couldn't attack in the air because they lose their creature due to my Inspector. They could not do much with the ground because this Duelist would punish them. And also, I had a ton of expendable creatures here. So I cut down every single level of their board presence. And then when they were down to their final resource and I took away their freelance muscle, that was it. They had no other strategy after that other than to top deck, and they forfeited because there wasn't a single top deck in their deck that could have solved that problem. That was a lot of words, I know.
I think I got it. Writing down my notes.
I was still taking notes.
Yeah, well, I mean, you said, take notes. I'm ready for the quiz. I'm not ready for the quiz. I'm going to flunk it, but I'm as ready as I'll ever be. Wow.
All right, so yeah, that's a good place to leave limited for now. Again, I know limited is not everybody's cup of tea, and I know for all intent and purposes, Streets of New Capenna limited is a fairly soft format. Go Bant, but again, if you're playing in paper, do not try to force colors. My goodness, you can still win in Jund and or Riveteers. That's what I won with at my local game store. So yeah.
Jeez. Well, Sky, so that was 4-1.
4-1.
In the 5 games you did with limited. Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad at all.
Yes, absolutely. I'm happy because sometimes these can go barely south very quickly, and it's really easy to go on tilt. Magic is definitely one of those games where you need the mental fortitude to get over whatever losses you couldn't control and keep moving. So yeah, that's that. Now, Constructed moves a lot faster. What do we have, about 20 minutes or so left until we have the wonderful Ghoul taking over with, all right.
Poffle, yeah. Ghoul and Poffle, showcasing Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. Not one, but 2 wonderful card games here being showcased tonight.
All right, what should we, what colors do you like, Van, after seeing all that? You got a color combo you'd like me to play?
Oh, I get the power here. Oh, geez, this is so much pressure. I'll say, when I played way back when, I liked black decks.
Black, huh? Okay, well, I got Orzhov Angels. That's, we can go with that. That's like black and white.
Yeah, I did black and white, actually, yeah.
I also have,
so perfect, yeah.
I also have Esper, which is black, white, and blue, if you enjoyed the blue. But, we can go with Orzhov. All right, I haven't played Orzhov in a little while, so hopefully my memory... I like aggro. I just played Bant for almost an hour and a half for you. That was an aggro.
Yeah, but I do know your favorite color, your combo is red with red, so... And more red.
Okay.
But, yeah, Sky gave me the power to just pick a deck, so... I don't know how this is going to go. I'm nervous. I may have just... put Sky up
I'll be
with the deck she's not familiar with. Okay, all right.
It's been a hot minute since I've played this, but I can't play anything till 3 here. That feels kind of bad. I'm going to take my mulligan here. Oh, that's much better. It's a little scarier to take this hand, but this hand is also much better. We have Valkyrie, we have Vanishing Verse. Got a little bit of everything for everyone here. Probably put back Liaison, keep March for removal. Ranked is permitted to see people stream tournaments for money online. Like, you know, where there's a cash bet prize at stake, I mean. So, yeah. Yeah, this is Orzhov Midrange, or Black-White Angels. It's a good deck! This hand, we'll see. We'll see. I make no promises here. This is a little difficult of a hand to take here. We are up against... I can't
imagine the amount of time it takes just to, like, get familiar with not only the cards in your deck, but... all the possible cards you can go up against, and then knowing how to deal with them and thinking how they're constructing their deck. Like it's just so much knowledge that goes into a card game like this that really can't be understated how much effort goes into, playing Magic at this level.
All right, this is a little rough here. I'm going to take my Font of Hope here, do that. Swing in. So yes, Ghoul and Poffle coming up. I want to make sure. That's exciting. That's really, really, really exciting. Fan, I love your show. This is so much fun.
Thank you. Yeah, again, you're watching Game Masters. I see many people in chat asking, hey, this isn't a speed run. And it's not. This is, we have a clock there, and Game Masters goes over games that aren't really traditional speedruns. So you'll see a lot of multiplayer showcases, competitive showcases, where we throw people into like a fighting game or a multiplayer shooter game and just have them team up and, go against matchmaking and demonstrate how the multiplayer works, different strategies that go into it. And, we just love showcasing that kind of thing. And, if you want the more traditional speedruns, of course, there's always a whole bunch of shows for that. But Game Masters, we go a little bit outside the realm of traditional speedrunning and go into general skill showcases like we're seeing here with Sky, who's currently 4-1 tonight on Magic. So
hey, make that 5-1.
Make that 5-1.
Nice pick, man.
All right. I had a small hand in this victory. I picked this deck.
You did pick that deck. Good job. Good job. I was looking at that and I was like, all right, so here's the real quick thing about Arena. If you don't play, your rank diminishes like really quickly. Like I won't fall out of Mythic, but I'll fall into like what's called the percentages. That's what I'm in right now because I've been doing so much Iron Mom lately. But there, when you're in the kind of lower Mythic, like what I have, you run into some real, what's lovingly called jank, and Gruul Werewolves wasn't something I've seen in a while. So I'm like, what am I supposed to do? And then they just scoop, and I'm like, yeah, absolutely. All right, so we have time for one more then?
One more, and then we'll go into a break. Sounds good to me, Sky.
Sounds great. All right, so, all right, I'm going to play this deck. I developed this deck for the Venus and Mercury League. I was talking about this before. This is just plain old mono white. Here is my aggro roots at work. You asked to see it. We're going to do this for fun.
Now, at the very least, no matter what happens here, you're leaving Game Masters on twitch.tv/GamesDoneQuick with a winning record.
That's exciting. I don't know what I'm up against right now, and this is only best of one. These are great cards, but they only remove stuff. And a mulligan. Okay, my gut was right. I have to learn to trust my gut a little bit more. All right, we're going all in. We're going all aggro here. Also, very peaceful land here. We're now in Kamigawa. Ooh, this is not a good deck for me to be playing against, but that's okay. We're gonna try our best.
I believe.
I don't like starting with gas because gas can just kill my Thalia right away. This is the flavor text Thalia. Mina Harker. I love this version of Thalia. Okay. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be a great match for us. My opponent probably has a card that is this deck's kryptonite called the Meat Hook Massacre. Probably not going to turn out well for me, but we're still going to try, chat. What they're going to do is they're probably going to sacrifice this for Deadly Dispute. No? Okay, never mind. They're just going to destroy Thalia here with the Brave the Stench ability. And then maybe zap my Adeline? Nope. They didn't have enough to zap Adeline, so that's always a good thing. This is not good, though.
It's okay, but maybe they don't have the card, you know?
Perhaps. I'll play Intrepid Adversary here. Pump Adeline here. They're going to wait for me to pay here. This is a very difficult deck. This is like wipes. It just means they're going to clear the entire field over and over. Okay, so they're going to take 3 here. Yeah, Meat Hook Massacre is just brutal.
Yeah, what does that card do for us?
It destroys the entire field.
Great.
Oh, yeah. Not a good time. Alright, I'm gonna probably save my Crawling Baron so they don't try to kill that. That is a land I can animate eventually. I could have animated it and attacked here, but that's just being greedy at that point. This deck also plays Blood on the Snow, and I can tell because they're using snow-covered swamps. Blood on the Snow is another very powerful wipe spell. It'll bring back their Ghast and wipe my field. It's on 6 mana, so they're probably going to play it next turn. They always do on 6. I don't know how or why. Oh, there's Meat Hook Massacre. Oh, why are they using it at 1? I guess because Adeline's less powerful here. Okay.
There it is.
That's a really scary card. They may have multiples in their hand, too, is what that tells me. Okay, that's fine. They don't know I have another one. Yeah, this deck is basically, my opponent's deck is basically designed to defeat mine. Ooh, Lalth isn't going to be fun, but we do have Brutal Cathar here to help us out. We're going to be able to get rid of one of those. So this is a Planeswalker. Planeswalkers are tough customers, but we'll be able to make this work. Let's get rid of this. We'll actually be able to kill Lalth this turn, because this is going to create... They're probably just going to let this go through, knowing them. But we'll be able to defeat Lalth the Spider Queen. Beautiful.
I am merely delayed.
But Blood on the Snow will bring it back. That's the problem with this strategy. So I'm predicting they're going to play Blood on the Snow. They have to have a 5th swamp, though, to bring back Lalth. Otherwise, they just get back the Geist. That's another Meat Hook Massacre.
Jeez.
Oh, yeah. But it's not over yet. I have my... Ooh, and another Adeline. I have another Adeline. Okay. This is why you run multiple Adelines. Despite her being a legendary, you can only have one Adeline on at a time. Do they have the Blood on the Snow for possible win here? No, they have Invoked Despair instead. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna sacrifice my Crawling Barrens here. Because I really want Adeline, and now I have Cave of the Frost Dragon here. A little risky, but we can also get over in the air. Okay. It is now night. It doesn't mean much right now, but it could if I get one of my werewolves out. There's like this day-night board. Ooh, Tenacious Underdog. I haven't seen that in a while. Okay, at least we have the little one body to sacrifice here. Invoke Despair is such a brutal card. Okay, it is now day. I think we probably lose this. Are we getting close to time here? Because I don't mind just scooping. This is an inevitability at this point, sadly.
Got a couple more minutes.
Okay.
But who knows? Maybe they'll make a mistake.
Okay, they have
There's
another
so many
Lalth.
clear cards, yeah.
Yeah, the clear cards are not fun to go up against.
Subservience will be rewarded.
Nighthawk Scavenger. I can take care of that with Elganjo here. Yeah, we're just drawing all lands here at this point. Yeah, I kind of have to. Should be able to activate Elganjo on Nighthawk Scavenger here.
A gift. In exchange, I will not.
Alright, well, we killed 2 Lulls and 2 Meat Hook Massacres. I can't ask too much more mono red right now. I'm not mono red, mono white. This is like the mono red of the format, though. Another underdog. My guess is they're probably just gonna... Oh, they did not want me with a second underdog, right? So they're gonna animate their Hive of the Eye Tyrant here. Yeah, me swinging isn't gonna do any good right now, because they just animate this. They have this still. I guess they can only blitz from their graveyard, and that's a problem. Oh no, they had a draw card as their last card. That's no fun.
Aww.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, we've drawn too many lands in this matchup, unfortunately. A third lull. My goodness.
Envy the strong, for then we will slay our
Don't ask me how I'm still alive right now. I don't know either. They have another Invoke Despair, so I most likely... Yeah, I lose to Meat Hook here. That's okay.
GG's.
Thank you. So what am I, 5-2 on the day?
5-2, which is pretty good. And yeah, that was basically, as Sky said, the anti deck.
Oh, yeah.
Like that deck was designed to beat that deck. And, you lasted pretty long. Fortunately, wasn't enough.
Yeah, it was close. It was very, very, very close. But I want to thank you all for having me on here tonight. This was fun.
Yeah, I'm so happy that we finally got to show Magic the Gathering here on Game Masters. And, Sky, thank you so much for coming on and doing it. I was just so excited to have Sky say yes. Like, yeah, I'm so interested in being on. And it always makes me excited when people come on the show. So I say this like basically on every show I do, but I do legitimately look forward to every single show that I do here on GDQ. And this one, no exception whatsoever.
Well, it was an honor, and I'm looking forward to watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Right after this. It's going to be a good time.
Yes. Well, this is it for Sky and Magic the Gathering. Unfortunately, we hate to see you go, but Game Masters is not done, because after a short break, we're going to be getting again 2 new runners, Poffle and Ghoul, showcasing Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. As a reminder, if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to go to twitch.tv/GamesDoneQuick if you're interested in looking at our live content, starting weeknights at 7 p.m. Eastern and weekends at 1 p.m. Eastern. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you after the break with some Yu-Gi-Oh! And welcome back from the break, everybody. You are watching Game Masters here on twitch.tv/GamesDoneQuick, and I am your host, Vance. As a reminder, your subs, gift subs, Prime Gaming subs, and bits help support weekly Hotfix content like this show. So please consider supporting our daily content if you enjoy these Hotfix shows. We just got finished with Magic the Gathering, but card game night is not over, because coming up right now, we have Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, and we're going to be doing things a little bit differently here, as we have brought in 2 wonderful people that will be doing duels against each other. We have Poffle and Ghoul. Poffle, Ghoul, hello.
Hi.
How are you doing? Welcome to the show.
How's it going?
I'm super, super excited for this. And, before we get in, because we're going to have to be talking about decks and all the things, we're just learning another card game right here after this. But, I just wanted to get a little bit of your histories with Yu-Gi-Oh! And, when you actually started to get into it, what brings you to Yu-Gi-Oh? What was your first experience playing the game? Was it at a school playground, playing against your friends, or one of these online ones? Start with Poffle. How did you get into Yu-Gi-Oh?
So I originally got into Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I was on holiday in the UK and I found some Japanese cards and I really liked the artwork on them, and I begged my parents to get me some. I didn't even know they were Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards at the time. And then I started watching the anime.
They just look cool, yeah.
Yeah, they just look really cool. And I was like, I want these. I still have those. They're in really bad condition, but I do still have those exact cards. And then I started watching the anime, started playing it at school. I never really played it competitively IRL. It's not really until Master Duel came out that I started really, really playing the game. So that's my quick overview, to be honest.
Yeah, Ghoul, what about yourself? What brought you to Yu-Gi-Oh?
I mean, I'm like a lot of people. There was a Yu-Gi-Oh phase where everybody in elementary school got super into Yu-Gi-Oh. You had to get the Kaiba or the Yu-Gi starter deck, which I wish I kept, but unfortunately I did not. Also, I wish I kept better care of a lot of things. I really miss my Harpy's Feather Duster from when I was a kid. But then, a lot of other people, I fell out. I didn't spend the money to keep up with other, people that were spending more money on the game and was doing other things. And then I got into college, and there was this series on YouTube by a YouTuber named Nim called Sealed Only Yu-Gi-Oh! And the idea was that Nim used only sealed packs to build a competitive deck and play the game. And I was like, wow, this is really, really cool. I should look into this a little bit. I didn't do sealed only. But I started looking and I'm like, if you could do this, by just buying packs, how expensive is it to just play the game? And turns out at the time, it was a really, really cool format, and all the decks had just gotten reprinted in the Megatins. So I picked up a Sky Striker deck for about $100. I went to a YCS that happened to be in Dallas on the weekend and just bought every single card individually. And from there, I just took off and loved it. The game itself is a beautiful accident, and I finally started seeing tournament results in about 2020, right around the release of Eternity Code, when a little deck called Madolce got some major buffs, and I was piloting it against what was considered to be the best deck of the format, and doing very well. I thought it had a good matchup and had a lot of great fun playing during that time frame. So I haven't put down the deck or the game since.
Awesome. Like that's super cool. Like just saying, two people, get into the game for very different reasons, and here you are on the Games Done Quick channel doing battle against each other. Who would have seen this coming, right? Anyway, I know we have a lot to go over because a whole nother card game. We need to see what's involved with the decks, and I'm gonna throw it over to you two whenever you are ready to start taking it away and just going over a couple of the decks that we're going to see here in the first match.
Yeah. So just to give a quick overview, Yu-Gi-Oh! Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a very different game than a lot of people might have remembered if you're playing as a kid. Playground Yu-Gi-Oh! And modern constructed Yu-Gi-Oh! Are obviously very different games.
Super different.
I always say that you would never design a card game to play like Yu-Gi-Oh! If given the choice. But that doesn't mean they didn't make it work. I think it is a very well-designed game. I think the card designers in Yu-Gi-Oh! Are among the best in the business at finding fun themes and ways to play. But it is not the game that you might remember, where Mirror Force was the best card in the game and your friends all hated you every time you flipped it. But it is definitely worth it, giving it a shot.
It's super unique, honestly.
Yeah,
I don't think any other card game comes close to sort of how unique Yu-Gi-Oh! Is, honestly.
Oh, there is absolutely nothing like it, for sure. So I'm going to go over, we have 3 decks each, and we're going to go one by one. So I'm going to do my first deck, which is DPE Sky Striker. And if you're looking at this deck for the first time and you don't know what modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Decks look like, you might look at this and go, that's a lot of green cards. That is because Sky Striker is a deck that is based around having a certain number of spells in the graveyard. I know a lot of people, when you were kids, you're like, I'm going to put 20 monsters, 10 spells, and 10 traps in my deck. And that was the quote-unquote golden ratios. That doesn't happen a lot anymore, in part because a lot of what trap cards do now is replaced by what we call hand traps. Most of them are monsters, and they have effects that you can use by discarding them from your hand. And the idea is that these cards give you a chance to play on your opponent's first turn. Essentially, a lot of decks in the game, it's not a joke, have the ability to kill you before you ever actually have your first turn if you go second. And the way to combat that is with these cards. The most famous one is, of course, this Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Essentially what she does is she says, anytime you try to move a card in your deck somewhere else, that effect doesn't happen anymore. So if your opponent was to activate Pot of Greed, you could discard Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, and your opponent would not draw 2 cards. And your goal is to use this to stun your opponent enough to where you can play the game no matter what. And the nice thing about these cards is they're good going first, too. If your opponent tries to do this, I can still discard it if I go first and give myself a chance to do it. Something unique to Master Duel is it uses the OCG ban list, so we have to, unfortunately, deal with Maxi. Hopefully, it is not drawn too much over the course of the game, but essentially this card says that anytime somebody special summons, you're going to draw a card. If you're thinking old school Yu-Gi-Oh! Monster Reborn is going to be how you special summon, no. We will probably be special summoning 5-6 times more than we normal summon every turn. That is just kind of how modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Plays. Ironically, the special summon is actually really more like our normal summon, and our normal summon is actually the more special of our summons. Of
course.
Getting into what Sky Striker itself is, I mentioned it's a deck that is focused on spells, but there's another gimmick, which is that it wants to have no monsters in the main monster zone. So one of the other big changes they made to the game was they added what is called the extra monster zone. There's 2 monster zones in columns 2 and 4 that both players essentially share. And Sky Striker, as a deck, wants your entire monster zone empty, and it wants you to have a monster in the extra monster zone, and that is it. And because there's that restriction, the idea is that they can print really powerful cards. This card right here is essentially Pot of Greed with an anime girl on it. Except it's better Pot of Greed because I get to pick one of the cards from my deck.
Ooh.
But
they made Pot of Greed even better.
Yeah, it's got anime girls on it.
Basically. But in exchange, I can't have any monsters in my main monster zone, and I need to have a certain critical mass of spells in my graveyard and in my deck to make this work. And so you'll see we're running just a ton of spells, a lot of very powerful ones. People will recognize Harpy's Feather Duster. reinforcement of the army, terraforming, but also just a lot of really powerful in-archetype spells, and a couple floodgates to try to stun my opponent to give myself enough time to actually, win the game. The other thing about this deck is that this is a Link Summon focused deck. It is about using Link Summons, which are the newest summoning mechanic. You'll notice these don't have defense points. They have just an attack stat. That's because these cannot go to defense position. And the arrows they have actually tend to provide special benefits. It's not super relevant for Sky Striker, but if they do come up, we will talk about them as they show up. I think that pretty much covers Sky Striker. So, Poffle, why don't you talk about what you're bringing for your first deck of the day?
So my first deck is Medolches, and they are pudding princesses essentially. So had to use those. But essentially, like with Medolches, it's very much like a special summon spam deck. I think I would describe it as. And one of their most unique mechanics is that they shuffle their monsters back from the graveyard, either to the deck originally, or with, there it is, Medolche Chateau here, you can actually shuffle those cards back to your hand. So you basically never lose resources, which is super strong in Yu-Gi-Oh! Where, having more resources usually equals win. I play a very gremlin-y variant of Medolche, because I run this card called Super Polymerization, which is what a lot of you will remember is a polymerization card which fuses two monsters together, except this time I can use my opponent's monsters, which is very, very funny for me. Not so much for them, but and yeah, so like a lot of the combo lines sort of we start off with like sort of Angeli. She like sacrifices herself and everything, and then you bring out other monsters from your deck. So you would usually go into like Petting Cesseur here, and it's just a whole lot of special summoning. Like Ghoul said, our special summon is very much just kind of normal, and we only get one normal summon. Actually, that's not true. This card does let us do two normal summons, very rare. But yeah, I mean, we essentially just spam out a bunch of monsters, keep climbing. This is probably my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh card of all time, which is Medolche Queen Tiramisu. And
sounds delicious.
Yeah, she's super cute too. And she can basically send your opponent's cards straight up back to their deck. It's super strong. And that doesn't trigger a lot of like on destruction effects as well. So if your opponent has a card that's like, when this card is destroyed, destroy all your opponent's monsters. That doesn't activate because it's gone straight back to the deck. So yeah, that's very strong. But that's pretty much how Medolches play, honestly. Like I said, I play a very gremlin-y variant. This is not like a normal deck list at all. So yeah, it's just how I like to play. I like to gremlin my opponent's monsters and make them into mine.
So one thing real quick before we move on is that Medolche is an Xyz focused deck. So there's a lot of different summoning mechanics that they've added over, the 20-year history of Yu-Gi-Oh! Xyz are the black extra deck cards, and what you do is they're very simple. You make a sandwich. You take your two cards at the same level, you put them on top of each other, and then you take the Xyz monster and you put it on top. And the idea is that the monsters underneath become like a resource for the effects that the Xyz monster has. It's very fun, very cool. Medolche is my deck of choice for IRL play. It's the deck that I topped my biggest tournament. I topped a 450-person PPG dueling bug tournament with Medolche. One of my favorite decks of all time. Super excited to hop into the game.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's fight.
Fights.
Let's fight. Oh, hang on.
Yeah, I would classify this as a show match between our two wonderful runners. We're not going to go give them noise canceling headphones and all that to not hear what's going on. We definitely want you, the chat, to and all the viewers to experience all the thought processes of our two competitors here today. As we go into game number one.
And very importantly, I lost the die roll. That is unfortunate.
Let's go.
But I'm going first anyway, which is great.
Well, yeah.
That's what I like to see. I also really appreciate the car as your dual mate, by the way. That's truly the top tier dual mate.
It really is. The car is just. I've not changed it since I got it. It's my little buddy. I love it.
I love you. You click it and it like moves.
Yeah, there's a little drift. I like how we both have the fish too. You can both click the fish.
Yeah, of course.
Look at that. Gotta have clickables in your card game, chat.
Oh yeah, the Karakuri one is another one that's great because you get to play rock paper scissors with it. Anyways, I'm going to start off with a normal summon of Sky Striker Ace Rose. That is not a good sign.
So you know how we were talking about? do we want to show it off? Should we show them what the Max C challenge is?
Let's do it.
Okay. So this is the Max C challenge, chat. Every time Ghoul summons, I'm going to draw a card, essentially.
And she'll be drawing exactly one card. I will be activating Fusion Destiny.
I also put in, not to alarm anybody, I put in some channel point bets of who will win, Poffle or Ghoul, for match number 1 here. I'm hoping it doesn't end in under a minute, because that's how much time is left on the prediction.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and summon that in the extra monster zone in defense position, and I will set a single card. So DPE is kind of one of the most centralizing cards in the game. It's a fusion monster that is summonable by using materials from the deck, which is part of the reason it's so good. You never want to draw these cards in a deck that has them. And it has the ability to destroy a card on my field and on Poffle's side of the field without targeting, which is extremely powerful. Non-targeting interruption is about as powerful as it gets.
Yeah, pretty much.
Now, the downside is I have to run the bricks, and there are other things. But I think I'm going to have to pass it there. One other thing is that when it's destroyed, it summons itself back the next turn, so it can just keep doing it over and over. And I'm going to go ahead and click end.
Right,
and we will see what Poffle has for me.
I'm going to have to use the anime powers of top decking. It did not work. It did not work at all. All right, so it's a little tricky for me. I wanted Ghoul to get the DP out because it's fun to see. But now I'm gonna have a tough time because of it. So I'm gonna activate. I'm gonna summon up my Madolce Angeli, which is one of my main.
I'm so hungry already.
Angeli is fine. I have no response to this.
So we're gonna sacrifice our Angeli here.
You know how you had a Maxi?
Yeah, huh?
I think it's only fair that I fire my own Maxi here.
Okay, but this is the perfect time for me to counter your Maxi with my Ash Blossom.
I thought you might have had that. You didn't Ash the thing. Yep, that is fine. I have no response anymore, so...
Okay. Alright, so I know that face down isn't called by the grave.
Yes. So one thing about Maxi is that it is such a powerful card that most decks kind of have to centralize deck building around it. Usually you run 3 copies of Ash Blossom, which stops it from doing anything. And you run copies of Called by the Grave, which is a quick play spell that will also stop it. Now, I have played against Madolce enough times to know that you never, under any circumstances, let Petting Cessor resolve.
What? What? No. What? No, you always let it go off. 100%. What?
So we're going to go ahead and negate this petting.
So I'm going to do what most Madolce players do, is cry and pass my turn.
All right, and I would like to get this DPE out of the extra monster zone in the end phase. So I'm going to go ahead and use its effect to pop itself, and then pop the Petting Cessor, which will both cause the petting to shuffle herself into the deck and allow me to summon the DPE back on my turn.
And the channel points came in pretty dang close. There's 51% for Poffle and 49% for Ghouls. Like, chat couldn't pick a favorite. They don't know.
I'm so sorry, chat.
I'm so sorry, Poffle. So I'm going to go ahead and summon my DPE back.
He's back. The boy is back.
And then, so part of the reason the DPE is so good is that the materials used for DPE are very good. So I'm going to go ahead and empty my hand, which allows me to banish this Celestial to draw 2 cards. I see we do not have an Ash Blossom, which is very nice. Those are some good cards. So let's go ahead and start doing some Sky Striker stuff.
Is that allowed? Are you allowed to do Sky Striker stuff?
Very tricky, I know, but so we're gonna go into the battle phase, and I'm gonna do 4,000 damage to you.
Now, for those of us who haven't played too much Yu-Gi-Oh! Or are seeing it for the first time here on GDQ, I imagine we have many people new to the game. What is your life pool at the start? Is it always 8,000?
It's always 8,000. So I'm going to send this area 0 just because I don't really want to draw it at this point. And it's also going to help me get extra spells in the graveyard for my Sky Striker effects. Now comes the slightly awkward part. I've got this DPE sitting in my main monster zone, and I really don't want it to be there. So I'm going to go ahead and just pop my Hayate and my DPE just to get them both out of the monster zone. And then I'll resummon the DPE next turn. You might wonder, why am I doing that? It's because I drew the best card in my deck.
Later, Paw of Greed? What does that do?
So I'm going to add back my add Array, which is the one main monster in the deck, which is very nice. And we're going to go ahead and just normal summon that. And we're going to link into Kagari, which is... So the idea with Sky Striker is it's kind of supposed to be one girl tagging out into these different mech outfits. So go ahead and let the animation play right there. So this outfit lets her add a spell back from the graveyard. So we're going to go ahead and grab back that Pot of Greed. And
How long these turns are, Jesus.
I'm just going to go ahead and activate that Pot of Greed again. You know, there's no once per turn on that, because why would there be a once per turn on this card? And then if I get this Widow Anchor, I'm pretty sure I probably have this game just about wrapped up.
Oh yeah, that's like very few things I can top deck.
So we're going to go ahead and set a pair of cards. And then I'm going to do one last little tag out. We're going to tag into Shizuku. And Shizuku lets me add a Sky Striker spell from my deck to my hand during the end phase. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Grab ourselves a Sky Striker spell trap. And I like... Let's grab another Widow Anchor for next turn as well, just in case something goes horribly wrong.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's...
So now my DPE is going to return to the field. And we will see what Poffle has for me.
Nothing. I got nada. I have absolutely nothing. I will activate
So one thing that's a little
Shadow.
bit strange about Madolche is you have to have an empty graveyard of monsters for a lot of their effects to go off. So this petting really wants no monsters in the graveyard, but because she used that Maxi and the Ash Blossom earlier, she can't get them out of the graveyard. Which is very unfortunate.
My mistake was wanting chat to see DP.
So right here, we're going to go ahead and fire this DPE. And we're going to pop this back row while we're at it. Ooh, Promenade, that's a good card. All right, I think it's probably about time to wrap this one up. Ooh, that is a crazy card. So we're going to do DPE in attack. And let's go show something a little new. I'm going to normal summon this Ash Blossom. And you might think, why is Ghoul normal summoning this Ash Blossom? I'm going to do what's called link climbing. So I'm going to link this because it's a tuner with my Shizuku. And it's going to summon a monster called Crystron Halki 5X. And when Halk is summoned, I get to summon a tuner from my deck. So I'm going to summon this Effect Veiler. And we're going to keep going. So see how this is a link 2? It took 2 materials. So I'm going to make a link 3. It's going to take the 2 materials from the Crystron Halki Fibrax and the 1 Veiler, and we're going to make what's called Selene, Queen of the Master Magicians. And Celine is going to gain a bunch of counters, which we can use to Shocker. We're going to bring that Effect Veiler back. And we're going to go into a copy of Access Code Talker. So every deck tends to have at least one copy of a finisher. Access Code Talker is one of the most generic finishers. Basically, it's a really, really big beat stick that also gets to destroy a bunch of cards on the field. So you'll see right here, it's going to choose that, and because it's a Link 3, it goes up to being 5,300 attack. And we're going to go ahead and banish the Halki Fibrax, because we don't need it anymore from our graveyard. And I'm going to go ahead and pop this Pet Accessor.
Yes, I will take it back to my hand in protest.
Sounds perfect. And then we're going to go to the battle phase, and Access Code Talker is going to go in for game.
I'm dead. That's my dead noise.
GG.
So you see a couple of differences, I assume, immediately from Magic earlier. One thing, as
A little bit, yeah, a
noticed,
little bit of differences, yeah.
turns are a lot longer, in part because the game is so much faster. There are a lot of things you can do on any individual turn because there is a total lack of a resource system. If you have a spell in your hand, you can activate as many spells as you want over the course of a turn. So, hilariously, this is going to sound a lot of really funny to people that play other card games. Sky Striker is considered a control deck. And I'm still probably
Really?
special summoned about 4 or 5 times. Sky Striker is probably the strongest control engine in the history of the game. Debatably, Eldritch is also very, very powerful. But yeah, you see it's very different from everything else. Very fun. There's a lot of very interesting lines. Sky Striker in particular, I think, is one of the highest skill ceiling decks in the game. You can really tell good pilots of Sky Striker versus other decks. And I love it. It's one of my favorite decks of all time, in part because it's the first one I really got into the game on.
It seems decent.
Yeah, it's also a very good deck in the meta right now, which is nice. But we're not going to stick with just one deck. So we have 3 decks each.
Mm-hmm.
This is a bit of a more fun deck for me. So this is Wind Witch Witchcrafter. And you'll immediately notice I am playing 60 cards. So there are 2 separate engines in this deck, both of which are spellcaster archetypes. So the first one is Wind Witch. The Wind Witch are spellcasters that are based on synchro summoning, which was the first new summoning mechanic they added after Fusion. Fusion's been the game originally, and then 5Ds came out and they said, hey, we're going to create this new type of summoning mechanic. And the idea is that you can take a non-tuner and a tuner monster, and if you add the levels together, you can summon different types of these white synchro cards from your deck. And Wind Witch is a particularly nice engine because it doesn't take a normal summon, which is great because all Witchcrafter really wants is a normal summon. So the Wind Witch engine essentially gets me to make a free, what's called Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, which is a really, really powerful boss monster. The Wind Witch side of this, or the Witchcrafter side, is an engine that is a control-focused archetype that also deals with spells in hand and discarding them to gain secondary effects. So this one will destroy cards. This one can negate the entire field and also make my spellcasters really big. And then because we're playing 60 cards, we get to use this card called That Crass Looks Greener, which is one of the most ludicrous cards in the game. I can't believe it's actually legal in Master Duel. Because I'm going to have more cards in my deck than Poffle, I assume, if I activate this card, I get to send as many cards to the top of my deck to the graveyard until I have the same number of cards as her. That is extremely broken. It is the only card that was banned in the TCG and in Duel Links on the very first Duel Links ban list. There are a lot of different formats for Yu-Gi-Oh! As well. And you can see we also just packed this with a lot of good stuff. You see the Max C, Gamma is another hand trap, 3 Ash Blossom, the 2 called bys, and then we have some generic good stuff links because oftentimes we'll end up with extra material and extra monsters. So that is my deck. Poffle, why don't you show what you have for your second deck of the night?
Yeah, so my second deck is what I've affectionately named Danger Lunar Brigade, which is a combination of a engine called the Tri-Brigade engine, some of my favorite cards, Lunar Light cards, and little fluffy jackalope, which are the danger monsters. So the main core is the Tri Brigade, which is like one of the best egg cores right now. Essentially, you're just, if you open Fractal, you send him to the graveyard. He sends Kit, which is an adorable cat girl. And then you're gonna send Nerval to the graveyard, who will grab another Tri Brigade into your hand, which will be Karis. I had to remember what he was actually called because I very much don't call him Karis normally. But yeah, and then he essentially can banish a number of Beast Warrior type monsters or Winged Beast or Beast type monsters from your graveyard and summon out. And you can link summon into one of the Tri Brigade sort of link monsters, I guess. And the main one is Craig here, as I've affectionately called him. He banishes without targeting, I believe, as well, which is like Ghoul said earlier, like non-targeted removal is super good, and especially if you can banish something without targeting. But yeah, and then we have the Lunar Light engine, which is absolutely nuts in Master Duel because of this one card, the Lunar Light Tiger, who can basically essentially just recycle cards over and over again, because Tiger's effect is not a hard once per turn, what Yu-Gi-Oh players call it, which means you can continually use its pendulum effect over and over again by clever interaction with this card here, which will bounce a card you control back to your hand, so you can just keep playing Tiger over and over again. You'll see it. I'll do some shenanigans and you'll see that in action. And the final part of it was these little danger cards, which are they're just in there for draw stuff, really. They're cute also, so but yeah, this deck is very much like a rank 4 Xyz spam deck, which are the black cards. But yeah, you'll see, chat, you'll see. I got it this time.
Yeah, it's an Xyz and Link focus deck that also has a Monster Reborn that she can reuse. What 3 times in a turn normally?
Yeah, because you can use it normally, and then Martin bounce, and then Zephyr bounce as well.
Oh, I did not miss this card in the TCG at times.
Now, I don't want to pick favorites here. That being said, I'm rooting for Poffle for Game 2. Tie up the series.
All right.
Make things exciting from a storyline perspective.
I'm gonna do it.
Ghoul going down in game number 2. No, we love you, Ghoul. And if you like Yu-Gi-Oh! I know, Poffle, you love streaming it all the time on your Twitch page. Often with viewers, like you say, come fight me.
Yeah.
People will come in and try and fight you. So definitely be sure to check out Poffle there. And Ghoul as well, plays Yu-Gi-Oh! From time to time. Ghoul's okay. Just fine, I suppose.
I'm all right. Oh, wow. 60 cards, and I did not draw well. Who would have guessed it?
That's the problem with big card decks, so. Your heart of the card's ability has to be extra strong.
I have to do something, otherwise I'm going to die. So I'm going to start with this copy of Witchcraft or Creation. And that's a response. That is very scary.
You know what? No mercy this time.
Yeah, I don't think there is anything I can say to that, unfortunately. I'm just going to have to let that one go. And we will have to... I'm going to go ahead and normal summon this Glass Bell. I'm going to use the effect of the Glass Bell, if that's all right by you, which it appears to be. I'm going to search myself a copy of Ice Bell. And I'm going to set a card, and I'm going to pass turn.
Alright, let's see what I can do. Top deck powers go. That'll work. I can work with that. So I'm gonna activate Harpy's Feather Duster. Classic.
Oh, that's just rude. Okay, well, I'm gonna chain Maxie.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm sure you're gonna try to special summon about 8 times.
I'm gonna chain Called by the Grave though.
It had to be called by. I'm gonna chain my own called by then, you know?
Wait, hold on. Okay, fair enough.
And I am very likely dead here if Popple has literally any cards.
You see, about that.
Oh.
And we get this lovely animation that they just added on the most recent patch.
All right. Well, I can't really do a whole lot since I did kind of brick. But we'll see. We'll see what we can do. We'll see. I'm gonna normal summon out my Lunar Light Marten, and I'm gonna use Mind Control.
Oh, all right, yeah. So
Yep.
we are going to steal my monster,
Gremlin.
and we're going to make a rank 4, I assume.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of what to make.
So again, right here, she has 2 level 4 monsters. So because she has 2 monsters of the same level, she can do what's called overlay them to make an Xyz monster.
Yeah, I'm gonna overlay them into my Raid Raptor.
Ooh, okay. I was expecting Redoer.
Yeah, it was redo or Four Strix. I couldn't decide, so I just went with the bird because my cursor was closest. Then we can detach Marten. Grab this out.
All right.
Then we're gonna get the.
Now we're going to be able to use the Raider's Wing. This detaches a material from the Raid Raptor to special summon itself. Again, you'll see a lot of special summoning over the course of the turn. We've seen 2. I imagine that if Popple had her decision, she would have significantly more than that.
Yeah.
This, I imagine, is a Wise Strix. Yep. So when Wise Strix is summoned, she gets to special summon a winged beast from her deck, and she can't use it as link material, so she can't do what I did earlier with the Halki Fibrax. So we'll see if she has any extenders here. If she has any extenders, which she does not,
I do not.
I would have been in for a world of hurt.
I do not, unfortunately. I very much had a weird hand, but we'll leave it at that.
All right. We will see how this goes. So I'm going to get my draw here. I'm amazed I lived that turn. That's an okay one. Let's go ahead and reveal that ice spell that I searched last turn. Let's see if you have a response. We have a response of some kind. That's a little scary.
When you use the term like response, I guess what exactly are you referring to with that?
So everything in Yu-Gi-Oh! That is a quick effect can be done on both players' turns. So what that means is that she has something she can do to respond to it, because you see how her game lit up. So we're going to go ahead and summon the Ice Spell. And when Ice Spell is summoned, I get to summon another Wind Witch to the field. So I'm going to get another copy of Glass Spell. And hopefully this orders correctly, which it's going to let me do, which is great. So we're going to do Glass Spell first, and then Ice Spell second. So what this means is that because this is happening first, she can't Ash the ad. Which is really nice, because it means that I get to get my Snowbell guaranteed. So now I get to special summon Snowbell. And we are off to the races. We're gonna synchro summon for the first time. We're gonna synchro this Glass Spell and this Ice Spell into a copy of Wind Pegasus at Ignister. And then I'm going to go ahead and do Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. So the crazy thing about Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon here is this has once per turn, every turn I can negate and destroy a monster effect that she does. And because of Snowbell, it can't be destroyed by card effects. So I can summon it in attack position with no fear of a Lightning Storm. So I'm going to go ahead and clear this Wise Strix before you get up to any shenanigans with it.
Honestly,
And I'm going to go ahead and pass my turn. Crystal Wing Pass. And hope that's enough. Yeah, a response is anytime that someone activates a card effect, you have a chance to respond if you have a fast enough card effect. I'll do you a solid. You gave me the DPE in game 1. I will give you access to 1 copy of Lunalight Perfume.
Let's go. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do Perfume then. Then we'll activate Perfume from my graveyard, which is going to let me grab any Lunalight card into my hand by discarding.
Yep, the Ash Blossom that you had. I'll let you go ahead and do this.
It's also pretty art you have for the Ash Blossom.
Searching out the Royal Rare Tiger.
We love Tiger here because it lets me do absolute shenanigans. So this is what I was talking about earlier, where I can just kind of recycle cards. So Martin is my graveyard, and I can target her and bring her onto the field. And then we can go into another rank 4, which I'm going to do this. Let's do... Go into Time Thief Redoer. Who is the boy?
This is one of the coolest cards in the game.
I really like Time Thief.
First of all, it just looks awesome.
Yeah.
But second of all, it has one of the coolest effects. Are you tagging it out immediately?
Mayhaps.
Sure, I will let you do that.
So the fun fact about Time Thief Redoer is he counts as a send, so it lets me activate Martin's effect too.
I will go ahead and ash this. You've had enough
Honestly,
fun.
Fair.
I did want to give you a chance to show off Tiger a little bit.
Alright then. Then we'll activate Martin. I did this a little bit the wrong way around, but it's fine.
Alright, let's take a look. We don't have any other Lunalights in the graveyard, so we are going to be able to balance it with the Zephyros and get into a second rank 4 if I didn't do this.
Understandable.
But you see, again, that really powerful resource loop where as long as you can continue to bounce the Tiger, because Tiger's a pendulum monster, you can every single turn bounce the card. Alright. Oh, not stealing with Redoer. Interesting.
Well, yeah, because you'll just destroy him.
I don't have to do that.
I feel like, Ghoul, you were waiting for that to happen.
I'm going to go to battle phase, and I'm going to go ahead and clear the Martin, since she's going to get banished when I do so. Would like to cut off that Lunalight resource loop. Main phase 2, I'm just going to go ahead and set a card. Unfortunately, I'm not drawing anything super crazy. And giving you an opportunity to play a little bit means that this game's going to get a little slower than it would have been had I been going super ham. But it's all good. It's fun to show off cards and kind of show a little bit of why this game really is good fun. I will let you steal this because I want to see what you get. Oh, thank you. I actually kind of want that in the graveyard eventually.
All right, let's do some stuff. I'm gonna activate Fire Formation Tenki.
Oh, that's a good card. Yeah. So this is a card that allows her to, when it's activated, she can add a level 4 or lower Beast Warrior from her deck to her hand. So I imagine we're gonna get a copy of Fractal, which is like the best Beast Warrior in the game right now. So this is the Tri-Brigade half of the deck. So again, it's looking for any other Tri-types, which are Beast, Winged Beast, and Beast Warrior monsters. And I see that we are attempting to force my Crystal Wing out, which I will gladly do here. I will trade my Crystal Wing Negate for your Redoer.
Alright then. Cool. So that frees up the negate for me. So now I can do some stuff.
On the bright side, my Crystal Wing is very big now.
True. Hopefully I won't be staying around for too long though.
Yeah.
So fractal stuff, Tri-Brigade stuff, we're going to send a bunch of stuff to the graveyard. Which eventually
so she's
ends
going
up
to send the Fractal, which lets her send one of the Tri-types. Then she sends Kit, which sends another Tri-Brigade. And then Kit sends Nerval, which then allows her to search for a Tri-Brigade monster, which we're getting a copy of Karass. We can either normal summon the Karass, or we can discard a Tri-type to actually make it go through. And then we can essentially link summon from our graveyard by banishing cards, is what she's going to do here.
I'm just going nuts over that.
Or she would, had I not drawn Droplet for turn.
Alright then.
So I'm just going to send this copy of Witchcrafter Hane to the graveyard. Yeah, 60 card deck, and I'm drawing exactly the cards I need to stop you. I'm sorry.
Alright then, and my turn.
Heart of the cards on Ghoul's side.
Yeah, I've got some true Yugi protagonist powers going right now. That's actually not bad. I'm going to go ahead and normal summon my Witchcrafter Pator. So I can start my Witchcrafter engine going a little bit here. And I'm just going to go to battle phase. And we're going to go ahead and clear the Karass. And we're going to swing with the Pator. And then I'm going to go to my end phase. And the cool thing about Witchcrafter is, as long as you have one on field, you can add back the spells in the graveyard to your hand. So I get a copy of Witchcrafter Creation at the end of the turn, which is really cool.
I drew exactly nothing. So that's game 2 to you as well.
Yep. I'm going to go ahead and tag out the Pator just because I can. So the on a quick effect, you contribute them, discard a spell, and you can summon any Witchcrafter from your deck, which is going to get Ash Blossom. Thankfully, I can force this through with the Crystal Wing, which is part of the reason he's in the deck. So again, right here, I am doing my thing. She's responding with her Ash to try to stop it, but I'm stopping her stop with my stop. And we're going to go ahead and just summon out a big ol' copy of Haney.
Oh yeah, that was my main phase.
And this should represent the end of the game. Unfortunately, I did not get to draw that Grass Looks Greener.
Oh yeah, you didn't, did you?
Nope, I played a 60-card deck in a fair way.
Hey, GG's, Ghoul.
GG.
The top deck powers, as they say.
Yeah, I've had a little bit of good luck going for sure.
Yeah, one thing I want to restate, like this is a showcase. Both runners explaining their moves, and everybody can hear what's going on, kind of get an idea of what's there. But like any trading card game, half of it, making the right decision with the cards you draw, put your deck together, and sometimes, just not the right cards that you want for the right situation are going to come up. That's just the name of the game.
Yeah, it's like any card game. Luck does play a factor, and smart deck building can help mitigate that. And good decision making always helps. But sometimes your opponent just draws the better cards than you, and there's not much you can do about that. Had she had literally any hand on her first turn, I probably would have had that, no problem. So we get to the third deck that I will be showcasing here, which is Metal Foes. So the thing about Metal Foes is a Pendulum archetype, and I know a lot of people in the stream are now closing it because I'm going to play a Pendulum deck. But let me explain. Pendulum is these are really scary cards to a lot of people that didn't play for a long period of time, and it's because Pendulum cards can be treated as both continuous spells and monsters. And so they have both a Pendulum, an effect for while they're a spell, like how Lunalight Tiger was Monster Reborn. And they have monster effects. And the cool thing about Metal Foes is it's a really good way to be introduced to how Pendulum works, because you'll notice the first 12 cards in this deck are non-effect monsters. These are just normal effect beat sticks. This is... I know this says Metalfoes Volflame. This also could just be Red Eyes Black Dragon based on the stat line. And every Metalfoes monster has the same effect. Well, in the Pendulum scale, which is that they can target a card you control, destroy it, and then you set a Metalfoes spell trap from your deck. So we end up with this really interesting combo deck where we destroy our own cards, which is a very good thing in a lot of Pendulum decks, because the other thing that Pendulum lets you do is it lets you summon a bunch of monsters from your extra deck, basically for free once per turn. It's like getting an additional normal summon, as long as the levels of those monsters are between what we call the Pendulum scale. So you see this 8 right here on the Bismugear, and on the Spellcaster there's a 1. So if I have these two on field, I can summon as many monsters from my hand or extra deck. For the most part, there are some restrictions that are between levels 2 and 7, and I will be using that a lot. And yeah, you'll notice that I'm not playing Ash or Maxi in this deck. The reason is because Pendulum decks tend to have synergy with other Pendulum cards, so the more non-Pendulum cards you play, the harder it gets to do a really, really solid combo. So I'm going to go ahead and pick my deck, and I will let Poffle explain the most expensive deck in the game.
Yeah, so I'm playing Heroes, which is, every Yugi Boomer's dream, because we're going back to 2007, baby. Although most of these cards I don't think were actually out in 2007. So, but yeah, I'm doing Classic Heroes, which is, as Ghoul said, one of the most expensive decks in the game, because you know what? I don't have a good reason, but it does all the cool stuff. I really like it because I like fusions. They're like my favorite type of summon. So in this deck we do have DPE. It's the only deck I run DPE in because I like running him in Heroes because it's kind of thematic, But we got 2 of those. I've got some this guy right here, Dark War, who is entirely responsible for me being sad whenever I have to face hero players as a Madolche player, because he completely shuts down. That one card completely shuts down in the entirety of Madolche plays. But hero is kind of, we discard some stuff, we get things into our hand, we do a lot of fusion summoning. There's this main line with Faris where we get Faris out, we put some stuff in the back row. I'll explain it more. Hopefully I don't get bricked hand again and I can actually show some stuff off. But we'll see. Obviously, Super Poly. Staple Poffle card right here. Gremlin people. So, yeah. That's basically my deck. Well, I'll explain it more as they go. Okay.
All right, shall we get to it?
Let's do it. Hey yo. All right. Oh, get to go second. Let's go. I'm
How important is
against?
the coin flip?
Sorry?
How important is the coin flip in determining the outcome of a Yu-Gi-Oh game?
For better or worse, it's pretty important.
Is it better to go first or second?
Depends a little bit on the deck. Poffle is playing what we call a blind second deck.
I pretty much always choose to go second.
Okay.
So
Best of luck, you two.
I'm going to start off with Summoner's Art. This is a... I do think I don't like doing this. I do think I have to use the Call by here. Because I really want to get one more monster. It would make a big difference. All right. And let's go ahead and grab a copy of Metalfoes Volflame with our Summoner's Art. So there's the Ash Blossom. That is good. So now we need to start doing pendulum stuff. So I'm going to take this Steelin. I'm going to put it in my left pendulum scale. And I'm going to take my Volflame, and I'm going to put it in my right pendulum scale. And I'm going to take my Steelin, and I'm going to pop my Volflame. And let's get a copy of... It's been a little while since I've played this deck. I'm trying to think what the correct thing is going to be here. Let's get a copy of Parametalfoes Fusion for for now. And then let's scale up my... this is still a little strange. So I've got my one scale. Can summon that out. I think we're going to have to do it this way. So I'm going to go ahead and scale my Melcaster. And we're going to Pendulum Summon 1, unfortunately. So this is going to be a pretty beatable board in all likelihood. I'm going to go ahead and normal summon this Bismugear as well. So we're going to go into a copy of Heavy Metal Foes Electromite. So this is the Pendulum Link monster. It also happens to be a Metal Foes card. And we're going to go ahead and put this copy of Astrograph Sorcerer in our extra deck. So the second effect of Electromite is I can pop a scale to add a card for my extra deck to my hand. So I'm going to pop, suppose this Melcaster. And we're going to add this Astrograph Sorcerer to hand. And this is going to start a big old chain reaction. So we're going to go, Chainlink 1 is the Electromite, Chainlink 2 is Melcaster, and Chainlink 3 is Astrograph Sorcerer. And we're going to special our Astrograph Sorcerer and get the lovely animation. And we're going to add a copy of Melcaster. Melcaster then is going to add, suppose, a copy of Volflame to hand. And then Electromite will draw me a card. That was not a good card to draw, but that is fine. So we're going to go for a...
This music is so intense.
Yeah, there's a lot
Yeah.
going on for sure.
The composer went absolutely ham for the Master Duel music.
It's one of those things. It doesn't need to bop as hard as it does.
Yeah.
But, you know, is anybody complaining? I think not.
Right, so we're going to go for a copy of Cross Shape here with these two, I think.
I love Crochet.
Yeah, it's a cute little card. And then we're going to activate that Parametal Foes Fusion, making a copy of Mithrilium, and I'll use this Bismugear, and I suppose this Volflame from hand. So that'll summon the Mithrilium. So that'll activate the Cross Shape to bring back the Bismugear. Then scale this. Let's go ahead and use Mithrilium's effect. So I'm going to bounce these two back to return this steel into my hand. And then I'm going to go ahead and rescale that. From here, I can I got a couple options. Might just be a 3-material Appaloosa pass, to be honest. I don't have any spellcasters in rotation, so I can't make Selene. I can make Verte, which gets me to DPE, but I think this is probably the best option. So this is just going to be a big monster that negates monster effects. I'm going to get one monster back from the graveyard, so we'll get this Melcaster back. Oh, I got it from the extra deck instead on accident. Then I can go for this, destroy this, which might be a mistake, but it's fine. And I'll set a copy of Metal Foes combination. And with that, I will pass turn, and hope that is good enough.
I'm cat jamming.
That was a heck of a turn, Ghoul.
It was not as good as it could have been, unfortunately.
All right, Poffle, let's go. I'm super excited.
Alright. Let's see what I can do here. So I drew Elemental Hero Stratos, which normally is a very, very good draw. However, it will be negated by Appaloosa. So... let's do... This is a really difficult thing to me to go over. I think what I do have...
You're all right.
Oh, that is... Yeah, that is fine. I have no response to this.
So what we're going to do is we're going to send you and you to the graveyard. So I sent Denier and Malicious to my graveyard. So we got the DP out, which is really funny against Appaloosa, actually, because Appaloosa's negate relies on her attack points. So I just took an entire negate off of Appaloosa, actually, which is kind of funny. Then we're going to normal summon out our hero Stratos. And then we're going to activate its effects. And...
I just love like a normal summon. Excuse me, that's not a special summon.
normal summoning in my Yu-Gi-Oh! Unheard of. So I have a little struggle here because I could technically get rid of this back row, which I don't know what it is. I imagine it's Metal Foes Counter or something, which is definitely a card, but it can be activated anyway in response. So I think I'm just going to add a hero to my hand.
You do know because I searched it. It is Metal Foes combination. I will attempt to negate this with Appaloosa.
Okay. And then I'm going to pop that, and then we can pop your... And because Stratos was actually not on the field when that effect resolved, I still get the effect, actually, which is kind of great, kind of useful. Now I can get Vision Hero Faris in my hand. Then we can discard my Vision Hero Vion. Oh, uh-oh. Uh-oh, scary. Alright, and now we can do some extra cool stuff with heroes. So we're going to use our Faris here to search out a...
I'm just going to flip it so it stops prompting me.
Fair enough.
It does the same thing whether it's face up or face down, so...
Alright, so we're going to do... put an increase in our back row, because that's where monsters go, right? And then we can use increases effect, which will allow me to sacrifice one of my currently controlled monsters, well, hero specifically, and special summon it. And when increase is special summoned, we can then add special summon a vision hero from our deck, which we'll choose a Bion. And he is going to get us something to the graveyard, which I think is going to be our Shadow Mist here, who does some extra cool stuff when she's in a graveyard. And she'll allow me to get a card into my hand, which I think we're going to go with Liquid. Which means we can now activate Vion's secondary effect, which will be a Banish, which will allow me to get a Polymerization into hand. Now we can do some funny plays. So we're going to activate Polymerization. And I have forgotten I've activated a thing. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I don't know how you keep track of anything at all, so I'm just impressed that this game is playable.
So I kind of locked myself into Dark, like with Branded Fusion. Not Branded Fusion, the Fusion Destiny that I played earlier. I kind of locked myself in, But it's ooh. Okay, that's fun.
Is that a good fun for you and a bad fun for Ghoul?
Yes.
Or a
Oh,
good
this
fun
is
for Ghoul
very,
and a
very bad
fun
for
you?
Ghoul. Ghoul is basically dead on board right now.
Kinda, but also not, because I actually can't. Trinity cannot hit you directly, so.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do this. And then we can activate Denier's effect, which will recycle some stuff. Kind of want you. Alright, let's see. I really wish I had discarded something else. I kind of misplayed a little bit, but it's fine. So we're gonna attack
I want to
you.
give. Yeah, I just want to give Poffle a shout out for coming on to do this show. By the way, so Poffle is across the pond, and it is what 3 a.m.
It's almost, it's almost 3 a.m. Yeah.
Yeah. How long have you been awake?
Yes.
Yes. The answer is yes. So a misplay is fully understandable, Poffle. Again, thank you so much for coming on the show. Anyway,
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, playing into interruption is always difficult as well. So.
So we're kind of just gonna pray now. We're just gonna pray.
All right. So it is my turn. And what do I do here? Let's start with this, I guess.
Okay.
And let's set. Need to reread a couple cards real quick. I will set this Metal Foes fusion, I suppose. Then I'm going to use the effective combination in my graveyard, which will allow me to search for a Metal Foes card, or monster. And we're just going to get a big one. We're going to get this Volflame.
The big one.
So now, a couple of options here. Let's go ahead and scale my Bismugear.
Setting the P scale.
So now that I have my pendulum scales, we are going to go for a big pendulum summon. And we're going to get, I suppose, this. And then we're going to go ahead and just summon our entire hand. Because that's the thing we can do.
Sure, sounds good.
I have a hero monster too.
Yo. Wait, what? Oh, you just hard drew Dasher?
I just drew Dasher, yeah. All right. So let's go for... I suppose it's a little awkward. Dasher is 6. I wish it was 7. Let's go for this and see what this fetches out. We're gonna make the Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon here.
All right.
Then I'm going to... I have no cards in hand. Let's link into That is not what I want to do, so we'll go for this. Make a copy of IP Masquerena, and I will activate the effect of my Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon.
Alright.
We're going to summon Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon to the field. And I'm going to use the Vortex Dragon to bounce your Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer.
Yeah, alright.
Alright, I didn't think this far ahead. Let's do
Thinking ahead, that sounds
here,
illegal.
popping my copy of Melcaster, I suppose. This will set the Parametal Foes fusion. And Melcaster is going to add something. We're going to add a copy of Steelin to hand. So I'm going to go ahead and activate Parametal Foes Fusion. This will summon a fusion monster from my... I do not want to negate my own thing. Thank you very much. That would be bad. And we're going to send the Steelin in hand and the Gold Driver here to summon Mithrilium. So now we use Mithrilium to shuffle these two back from my graveyard to bounce the Trinity, because I can't get over it right now.
That's understandable.
And I suppose I start link climbing. Or I could do something very funny.
Always do memes. Always.
All right, we'll do the funny. I'll show this off. So this is Verte Anaconda. And we're going to summon back from our graveyard this copy of Melcaster.
Have you got Super Poly in your deck?
I do not have Super Poly. I'm going to
Okay.
be sending this Dasher from the field, probably. So we're going to go ahead. Oh! Fusion Destiny can't summon from the field, apparently. I did not know that. So we are going to not do that then. I guess I do have to use the effects. It's not letting me not use it, so I'm just going to make Melcaster Dark. Then let's go make a big access code talker. And hope this is not lethal, is it?
I think it is.
53, 25. I don't know. I can't math. Hardest part of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, no, I think it is.
Reading and math, as it turns out. So once again, we're going to go into our big finisher. And I'm going to get rid of this Verte that did not do what I wanted it to destroy your Denier. And I will go to combat, and I think I am just short. Yep.
Just
short.
yeah.
Increase is fine. Alright, And let's go ahead and get rid of that increase.
Yeah, there's nothing I can top deck in my deck that will bring this back, unfortunately.
All right.
Oh yeah, especially when I fix the top of my deck too.
Oh no. Well, that is not a good card, but we will go ahead and wrap this up.
GG.
That was a scary one. Very close. Very good games. Almost across the board. It's been a lot of fun. We still have quite a bit of time left, don't we?
Yeah.
Well, we. Sorry, one second. We're getting word from the truck here of how much time we have. All right, I'm told we got 20 minutes remaining. Think we can go through and do a match of another deck, one of the ones you've already shown. Maybe you each
let's have chat choose.
do a rematch of one of them.
What would you guys like to see from us for the last game out of the stuff that we played today? Or
is that a question for Chad?
Or Poffle, you can play whatever you would like as well. But yeah, if Chad has one of the decks that I played today and would like to see it again, go ahead.
I'm thinking I'll play Madolches, maybe.
All right.
What's Chad thinking?
Pendulum. I don't have Dragon Maid. I don't have Virtual World, unfortunately.
Okay, so Virtual Punk is not finished on my side yet. I have not finished this deck. It is not functional, really.
All right, let's do the Wind Witchcrafter versus Madolche. That should be a pretty even matchup for the most part. Should be a lot fairer than the back row deck from earlier was actually kind of tough for Madolche to play through. So this should be a much fairer matchup. Much like a lot of other card games or fighting games, if you're familiar with them, different decks do well at different things. So depending what your deck is good at playing into or against also changes what is good sometimes. Oh, this is an okay hand. So let's go ahead and use the Ice Bell. Oh dear.
We've got to get the prediction in. I'm scrambling. Yeah, 1 minute. Well, probably from the time you hear this message due to stream delay, maybe around 40 seconds. Go ahead and get your points in. Who is going to take game number 4? Best of luck to both of the runners. And remember, be sure to go follow both Poffle and Ghoul. They are both wonderful people, fantastic streamers. Do more than just Yu-Gi-Oh! I know Poffle do Ocarina of Time rando here and then, as a specialty. And Ghoul, I don't think we talked too much about your stream, but what other activities? I know you speedrun Persona games.
Yeah, speedrunning Persona.
RPGs.
I've done a lot of casual RPGs lately. Obviously, I've played a fair amount of Yu-Gi-Oh! Also, recently I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy TCG, which has been a ton of fun. I think I just do Threy, pass here, and pray. So I will take back my creation, and you have to play through exactly 1 negate.
All right. Well, I'm gonna, this is mine now.
I see. You now have to play through exactly 0 negates.
All right, cool. Okay, so we're gonna activate Ticket, which is hopefully gonna go through fine. Okay, cool. Then we're gonna summon out Angeli, and we're gonna sacrifice Angeli immediately to special summon out our petting Sasur. And then we're going to activate the effect of Petting Cessor. Oh no. Okay. Then we get our Pudding Cess out. And then we can go into Teacher, I think. Yeah, we're going to go into Teacher. So this is the first time I've actually got to Xe summon this time. Actually, no, it's the second time. But yeah, we're going to go into Medolce Glass Souffle. And then we're just going to immediately go into Chocolate a la mode here. And then we're gonna do what's called spinning, which is what a la mode's effect is. So I can spin a Angeli back into the deck, which will activate Ticket. Then we're also going to activate Chocolate a la mode's effect at the same time, and we're going to send Glass Souffle as a resource.
And every card in this deck, Poffle, is so delicious.
Right? So then with Chocolate's effect, we're going to special summon out a Hoot Cake. And then with Ticket's effect, we're going to special summon out a Messenger Latte, which is the UPS man.
Mailman,
And we
Bricker of
are
Hands.
Yeah, we're gonna bring out our Salon. You know, we need to get our hair done and stuff, so yeah. Then we're gonna activate Hoot Cake, who can banish one card from our graveyard. You know what, I think I'm gonna just choose Ash here. And then that means we can special summon out our other UPS man. And we can activate him. And then we can get our third spell card out, which is Shatter. And I do believe that is OTK.
Oh my goodness.
That's what happens if I don't break.
The amazing thing is she could have done that even if I had significantly more cards on my side of the field. Thanks to the power of
Wow.
Tiramisu.
GG's Poffle. I think it was our first OTK of the evening.
I think so, yeah.
The Poffle believers. I need to go pay out this prediction. Let's see.
The believers. We had it.
For this one, I feel like people do 85% for Poffle, 50% for Ghoul. Unfortunately, the payout's not going to be big, but Poffle was victorious.
They just knew I couldn't keep getting lucky.
The protagonist powers only go so deep, right?
Yeah, there's only so much I can do sometimes.
All right, so I'm just gonna check and see if we're ready to wrap. I think we're ready to wrap up the show here for tonight. Thank you both. Yeah, thank you both so much for coming on and being part of Trading Card Game Night here on Game Masters. And I couldn't have asked for a better group of people. You all have been so much fun, and I wanted to give each of you the opportunity to talk a bit about yourselves and your stream and what you generally get into. And Poffle, since you won the ultimate match, got the one turn KO. Let's start with you. Feel free to plug away.
So yeah, I'm Poffle. I play a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh on my streams. I do a lot of Ocarina of Time randomizers. I kind of just vibe. I have a wiggly tail, as you can see. I do like a lot of...
It's very cute, yeah, and wiggly. Yeah.
I do like a lot of voice stuff, like...
Hello, GDQ. My name's Pegasus, and I'm going to send you all to the Shadow Realm.
Literally no voice changer. It's just
so
that's
good.
just my voice. I can do that. So yeah, that's my stream. We have a lot of fun. We yeah, that's we vibe. We do things. Yeah.
It's so good. That is an incredible Pegasus. Like, jeez. All right, Ghoul.
I mean, how do I follow that up? I just wanted... yeah, I'm Ghoul. Obviously, other than Yu-Gi-Oh, you'll see me speedrunning Persona and other RPGs, occasionally platformers. I do have a run in this SGDQ, so if you guys want to support me there. I'll be racing Jimmy Johnson's Anything with an Engine with my good friend Ghost Kumo. It is a very late night run, so you guys can look forward to us there. I do have a couple shout-outs. I want to say, shout-outs to the entire Middleche Discord, but especially Niku, who always sends me the latest texts and, talks to me on stuff. And then my playtesting partner in King Osha really helped me get a lot better at Yu-Gi-Oh! Over the last, couple of years. And then, shout-outs to all of you. This has been, a total blast. I've had a ton of fun. And thank you so much to Fant and Poffle for agreeing to have me on.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, I think it was a nice showcase being able to see, both of you in the same call. You kind of know what's in the head of the other player, and we get to see both sides of the game rather than going up against another opponent. Which get big shouts to Sky, who was on earlier on the first leg of the show. So we got to see like two completely different ways to see two very different card games. And, Chad, I hope you all enjoyed this. I know on Game Masters, we do a lot more than traditional speedruns and do a lot of these multiplayer showcases and competitive showcases. And, I hope you continue to have fun with these as, we got some more multiplayer showcases coming on in a couple weeks. But the important thing is that although we are done with Game Masters, we're going to be saying goodbye to Poffle and Ghoul for the evening. Again, go give them a follow. The links are in chats. They're both wonderful, wonderful people. Cannot recommend them enough. But
one last thing.
Hotfix is not done.
Go ahead and follow us on Master Duel as well. I've got my ID pulled up, and I'm sure Poffle can do the same. You should definitely all follow us if you play, so you can track our progress and see us climb the ladder and or play casual games.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Thanks for having us.
Or maybe just have the guts to go head to head in one of the Fight Me streams. I know, Poffle, you do that. Do you ever take on anybody who comes at you?
Yeah.
Sometimes. Usually I tend to just do the ranked ladder. But I have played friends and viewers on the stream before, so maybe I'll have to do it more often.
All right, that's going to be it for me and for Game Masters tonight. But the hotfix is not over, as coming up after a short break is going to be Time Capsule, and we're focusing on a certain year. See if you can guess it, chat. See if you can guess the year. Don't know looking up the games. That'd be cheating. But it's going to be We Love Katamari and Ninja Gaiden Black. Should be a good time. I'll be lurking and watching, and we'll see you next time.